Good afternoon. I'm Ryan Baker. The transfer portal has closed, but that doesn't mean you can't add to your roster from kids that are still in. Ohio State yesterday added Dartmouth offensive lineman Bashawn Washington. Washington, a native of Springfield, Ohio, comes to be a Buckeye for his fifth and final season. The 11th ranked Ohio State women's basketball team will look to bounce back from their loss Sunday to Iowa. They host Wisconsin tonight at 8. Tyler Danberg and Kristen Watt have the call over on the Fan 2 at 7:45. The Ohio State men's basketball team will continue to participate in the CBS Sports Classic for the next 4 years. The Buckeyes, Kentucky, North Carolina, and newcomer Kansas will be the lineup moving forward. OSU will face the Jayhawks on December 19th this year at Madison Square Garden. Breaking sports news as it happens on The Fan, Ohio's sports destination.
It's time to add some spice to your nooner. Nooner funny. This is the place where big-time guests, bold opinions, and little cute doggies come together. This is Rothman and Ice.
Sponsored by Pella Columbus, the #1 rated windows and doors in Columbus.
All right, sanitize up. Here we go. Rothman and Ice. Anthony Rothman, Matty Ice Hayes, and the Cannon doing something. How we feeling, boys?
I'm feeling good, man. I'm feeling good outside of when I was driving in today. You know, I said out loud, and this is sad, I can't wait for it to be 30 degrees. And I had to reassess, and I said, think about what you just said. It is that cold, AR, that your boy is just hoping and praying for 30-degree weather out there, man. But other than that, I'm feeling good, man. I really am. How you doing? You good over there?
That will be a heat wave. I agree with you. Yeah. The sun does help when it comes out. That's for sure. But I think the over-under on, quote, accidents I've seen since Monday, I've seen at least one every time I've come to the station.
Yeah, I'm
or going back.
Probably there with you, man. It's still dicey out there. And we mentioned earlier in the week, it doesn't help things when you got the people that are still trying to zoom past you or run up on your bumper to get out of their way, and people are slamming on their brakes. And then, unfortunately, people are slipping and sliding. And the snow ain't going anywhere because it's freezing cold out there. And so, yeah, it's been brutal out there. I hope everybody's still being safe and has been safe. And, yeah, as always, we love you. Thanks for joining us.
Get out of my way traffic on the Fan.
We don't need those. Those people got to chill out, man. Like, let's just chill out, okay?
Yeah.
It's not that serious.
I feel like now that the main highways are, quote, dry in most places, then it gets you back into doing what you used to do.
Speeding for a lot of people.
Yeah, and then what happens is, and I pointed this out, that a lot of the lanes on the extremes out of nowhere can be shut down or snow covered, and that's when it gets dicey.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah, so
it does.
But yeah, be careful.
Good, though?
Everything's good.
The Beards made it another day. Yeah, that warms my heart.
Well, it's going to make it until 30, I think. I think that was the line we drew. When it gets more than 30 degrees, then it's
okay. I thought you were about to say the 30th. That was going to make me. I was like, that's tomorrow.
Know.
That's
listen.
brutal.
It's like anything. You know, if you start anything and you get past the first couple of weeks,
a
diet, a resolution, something. Yeah. I think it's the 2-week mark is probably for me
the hardest part for the diet.
Yeah, I think that's for most people.
2 weeks, man. That window.
So we'll see. All good though. Jackets bonus bumping still. This is what needed to happen. The Big Don pushed the button, and it's worked. It's worked to this point. I know I mentioned yesterday that, and it's a stupid fear, it's a fan fear, that when hot teams get big breaks, that the momentum gets cut, but you can't have it both ways. You needed this. You had to have this. It's even better than I've been hoping, because I think I needed them to go, 8-3-1? Over the 12, and they're 6-1, I believe, under him.
It's pretty remarkable. Like it really is, and it's credit to both parties. It's obviously credit to Slick Rick for coming in here and identifying what he thought needed to change, implementing that change, but also the players buying in and grabbing a hold of it really quickly. And so, like you mentioned, winners of 7 of 8. This is tremendous. Yes, the Olympic break. That's going to be unfortunate, but my goodness, what you saw last night, what we've been seeing from both goaltenders down the stretch, and then our guy Z, there's just something about Zach Werenski over there at Nationwide. He just turns into a whole nother level of star, and he already is. But when you look at where the man's at right now in 21 home games, he's got 35 points. Z at Nationwide is just built different over there.
Look at the goals.
Yeah.
I mean, that's for a defenseman. His skates are just always tipped, man. They're always tipped for the offense, and he's a brilliant player. He's composed. He's got a lot of poise. He got a lot of national run last night on TNT with the boys, which was great.
He should, absolutely.
So that was cool.
Yeah.
But and to watch Charlie score the first goal of the game when they celebrated his 1,000 party was very cool. And just watch the way that goal is scored. This is the Jackets team that we thought we were going to see, and we're seeing it. And I'm not going to play the card of, let me put it this way. They felt the urgency. Their coach got fired. They were in last place. Like, if that doesn't wake you up, nothing will. So I can't, while Rick has certainly given a new voice and a new feel to it, and certainly we know how Elvis felt about it, that I think it's human nature for these guys to try to rescue what the hole they dug themselves into.
Yeah. And
it's not easy. It's not like they weren't trying, but sometimes, like we've talked about, change for change's sake. I can't sit here and tell you whether Rick Bowness is a much better coach than Dean Evison. I don't know if that's very hard to compute. What I do know is that you add it all up and you get an Olympic break, you get 12 games, you get some urgency, you want to be in the conversation, you have pride, your coach got fired, like all that, they found some motivation, and credit Don Waddell for identifying it right now, because that's not an easy thing to do. Matty said to him right to his face that that's your hire. That wasn't somebody else's. That's a year and a half in. That's a rarity for a guy to say, I need to make that change. So he's only going to get so many hires, and I thought that was a real gutsy thing that he did. And the other part of it is financial. How many coaches do they really want to pay over a lifetime? And so we're here. They're in the conversation. I thought it was great last night and here's the other thing. They had a 2-goal lead in the third. That I love watching this team now, which is weird because this is the complete narrative from the pre-bonus to post-bonus, is how do they play with a 2-goal lead in the third? And last night, it was slipping away again. Slippery shrimp. A second order of slippery shrimp? Yeah, on the first date, huh? Sometimes. Movie?
I don't know.
No and shot. It's not just because you wanted a second order of slippery shrimp. On the first date? Sometimes.
Seabiscuit, I don't know.
What do you got, AR? I don't know.
I love you, man. Kind of a very...
Who's the
Paul
lead
Rudd
in that? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so they had a 3-1 lead in the third, and it's 3-2 with 16 to go. So now all of a sudden, Elvis is feeling it.
We're all feeling it. Everybody
and
is.
then what happens? I think Connected, he had a Hattie last night, right? So they tied it. So now it's 3-3 with under 4 to go. Now you're thinking, can we just get a point?
Right.
Because, and then Sevo, let's just do it. The Rothman Ice bump. Let's give it to him. That was a laser that he put on the doorstep to Monty for the game winner. So what we're seeing now is a team that's not panicking in the third period.
Which is awesome to see.
And the fact that you saw a 2-goal lead disappear last night against a team in the Metro, a team they're fighting with, a team that was above them. These are critical times. I think in the first half, this team might have been gripping a little bit, and you don't know which way it's going to go. And no one's guaranteeing they win that game. I'm just saying that that's not a team that was playing for overtime last night. That's not a team that was just trying to nurse a Darnell nurse. They weren't trying to nurse a point out of that game. They were trying to win it, and they won it in reg, and they wound up getting the empty biscuit. And here we go, and they're off to Chicago today for tomorrow's game.
You mentioned Don Waddell and the decision he had to make to go to Rick Bowness. One of the calls, too, this offseason was to bring in Charlie Coyle. And AR, what he's doing right now is giving me, and it's maybe not the same apples-to-apples comparison, but JVR last year was a vet that came in here, and he could set a bit of a tone, and you kind of knew what you were going to get. Charlie right now, with what he's putting together, is really impressive to see. I mean, his body of work to this point is third on the squad in points and assists right now. And so that's a great job by Don Waddell, the decision makers over there, to identify a vet that could come in and help you right away. We're always going to want to see the young guys take off and grab a hold of a lot of the body of work, but you need these guys as well to kind of piece things along, and he's putting together a really good season. So happy for him because he's getting a lot of love with the accolades and all that stuff, but the body of work right now, to me, is really impressive.
He's experienced.
Yeah, man.
And he's big, and he's played some serious hockey in his life. So I think if I read you correctly, you're saying don't trade him before the deadline.
I'm not here for that.
Okay.
Now keep him around.
Unless we tank.
Well, if the bottom falls out a little, when is the trade deadline?
First week of March, maybe.
Okay, yeah. Well,
I'd like to see him. He's a pending UFA. So I just want to bring that to the table. I want you to have all the information.
That's great information to pass along to me.
33-year-old big matchup center who's a pending UFA.
Because I'm usually team when guys are productive for you and UFAs are right around the corner, don't lose them for nothing. That's usually where I lean.
That's what I'm telling you. So I just keep that in the back of your mind that if somehow this thing goes sideways, he would be very coveted by somebody.
And you got to have that serious discussion then if you're the big Don, for sure.
All right, we got a lot to do today. We will have our friend, actually speaking of CBJ, the voice of the Jackets, Bob McElligott, will jump on before they head to Chicago at 1:30. So 1:30.
Yes, sir.
We'll have him then. Our buddy Dan Dockich at 2:30. We'll talk hoops and a lot more with him. And this hour, bottom of the hour, Ben Axelrod, awful announcing, the senior editor on everything the Brownies have done and the reaction to it. And speaking of that, their big star with a concerning reaction to the hire. You'll hear it next. Rothman Ice on the Fan.
A lot has changed in 30 years, but we're still that old shoe that feels worn in and well-loved. And, well, we smell a little, but you've accepted that. The Fan.
Hey there, friends. It's Bo Bishop here. You know High Bank for their award-winning spirits, but the food deserves just as much love. Enjoy happy hour with friends, brunch with family, and dinner that never misses. Make your reservation today at highbankco.com. Dine, drink, distill at High Bank.
I'm Dan Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. Last year, millions of people called us for representation. Why? Because trust grows when you win, and we've won a lot. Over $30 billion and counting. When you call America's largest injury law firm, you're calling a family. You're calling an army, our army. You're calling somebody who will fight for you. Injured? Let our family fight for your family. Morgan & Morgan, forthepeople.com.
Morgan & Morgan, Ohio office located at 600 Vine Street, Cincinnati. Prior results do not guarantee a similar outcome.
Miss Fernandez, what are those tiny things?
Those are what we call amoebas. You can only see them through a microscope.
Wow.
Today's students are tomorrow's great thinkers and innovators. But right now, there's a funding crisis in public schools. Millions of kids go to schools that don't have funding for books, computers, and so much more just because of where they live. You can help change that. Donors Choose is a nonprofit that lets you support students and teachers in your community and beyond. You choose which supplies to support. You could provide first graders with pencils and paper, or other students with their first chapter books, help a music class get a guitar.
You could even supply a classroom like mine with a science project. But what you're really giving is the moment that sparks a brighter tomorrow.
To learn more, please visit DonorsChoose.org. That's DonorsChoose.org. Choose students. Shape the future.
While serving in Vietnam, a grenade took my ability to see. Today, I'm a sculptor. Now, my fingers are my eyes. I'm Michael Naranjo. As a veteran, I know the challenges of life can be great. In my art, turning a lump of clay into something beautiful, that is worth doing. Life is like that. We each must use what we can to make things better.
DAV helps veterans like Michael get the benefits they've earned. They help more than 1 million veterans every year in life-changing ways.
Now, I show others how they can create something with their own hands. I know it can do a lot of good. With support from DAV, more veterans can shape their lives into a thing of beauty. My victory is bringing beauty into the world.
Michael Naranjo, may your victories inspire many more. Support more victories for veterans. Go to DAV.org.
Hi, I'm Connie Britton. I support Feeding America because they help provide over 6 billion meals to people in need each year. Learn more at feedingamerica.org. Feeding America, 200 food banks strong.
The ONN Daily Podcast. Get a recap of all the day's news from across the state.
ONN affiliate WBNS TV reports.
Haley Kirby reporting in downtown Toledo.
From the State House, Kevin Landers.
ONN Canton. ONN affiliate WKYC TV in Cleveland explains.
In Marietta, Brett Wharf, ONN News.
Emma Henderson in Genoa.
The ONN Daily Podcast. Listen at ONNradio.com or wherever you download your favorite podcasts from the Ohio News Network.
Flexible, secure, fun. Oh, and great pay, too. Are you not sure what you want to do for a career? Or are you thinking of changing careers? Being a dental hygienist or dental assistant may be the perfect fit for you and provides all of these perks, plus more. Talk with a dentist in your community or visit ODA.org to learn more. Become a valuable member of the dental team and start helping people love their smile. This message is brought to you by the members of the Ohio Dental Association.
Back in the day, if you wanted to listen to the fan, you turned on the radio, and that was the end of the story. But now, oh baby, stream us live on the Fan app, TuneIn app, iHeart app, we're everywhere. The Fan, Ohio's streaming destination. Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
We are tracking sunny to partly cloudy skies here for today, but it will still be very cold with highs only around 17 here for this afternoon. Winds out the southeast at 5 to 10 miles per hour. And we are tracking very cold conditions here for the next several days with highs in the teens and overnight lows below zero here as we go into your Friday, Saturday, and even Sunday. And that's a look at your 10 weather impact forecast. I'm meteorologist Aaron White here on 97.1 The Fan.
Bet365, the official online sports book of Rothman Ice. Whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365. The Fan, Ohio's sports destination.
Their live golf team name is Ice Dogs. You're listening to Rothman and Ice.
All right, no big updates with Jim Schwartz yet. Ben Axelrod will come on at 12:30. Get his feeling on it. He's up there in Cleveland. And there's just a little bit of a feel, and I don't know, this would be classic Browns, if now they've divided the team. Like, that's the worst thing you want to do is divide the locker room. So if the defensive guys wanted Jim Schwartz and their guy doesn't get the job, it's not like they're, the players aren't quitting. But when you hire a new coach, what's the one thing you truly want? For that guy to be able to bring them together. I know it's just words. Sometimes it's very cliche, but the way they should be reacting is probably different than the way they are. And I'm not saying the owner or the GM has to go take a poll with every player and say, all right, who do you want to be the next head coach? That's not their vote. They have to identify that. But you guys can read into this a little more than I can. So Myles Garrett has caught a lot of attention with this cryptic IG post.
Yeah.
Following the Browns' decision to hire Todd Monken. Now, it's being reported like it was an unexpected decision. Was it? He was one of 3 finalists. He's been around. He's been an OC in the division. Like, I don't know how big of an upset this is. Because think about who the alternatives were. Like, Nathan Shieldhouse is a very unproven guy to be a head coach.
He's a young lad.
Yeah, I mean, and he may be very creative, and the next guy, and the mystery coach, as I said yesterday, sometimes is always more exciting to a fan base than the proven head coach retread with a ceiling, even though he may have an accomplished resume. Yeah. It's kind of like the same thing they're getting over in Pittsburgh. Like, they feel like, okay, retread coach, fired coach. Yes, he won a Super Bowl, but he had Aaron Rodgers. He did fine, but he had Dak Prescott, who's considered a top 10 quarterback in the league. And so they don't like it because they think that what Mike McCarthy is, and this may be true, what he is what he will always be. Like how does he reinvent himself? So most fan bases say, hey, we've been through so many losing seasons. Get us the mystery kid. Get us the one something
that's fresh.
Yeah.
That feels fresher than a guy that was in the building before in Todd Monken that was a part of a really bad window of time for the Browns when Freddie Kitchens was the head coach, but Monken wasn't calling the plays. That was Freddie Kitchens running the show, and we all know how that movie ended. So before we get to the Myles Garrett I don't even think it's cryptic, AR. I think it's just as plain as day how he's feeling. Let's go back to what Tom Pelissar reported yesterday about Jim Schwartz when he found out that he wasn't going to be the head coach. And he said Schwartz was visibly upset, said goodbyes in the building, and told other coaches he's not coming back. And so, as you mentioned, that makes its way around the locker room. Obviously, Myles and all the defensive guys catch wind of that decision. And Myles on IG, as you alluded to, he throws out the old Popeyes employee meme.
So this, real quickly, I've seen it.
Yeah.
And what I meant by cryptic is there were no words. He threw out pictures. So it can be interpreted however you want. But this one skipped me many years ago.
So this was, I'm pretty sure, AR, when we were in the unfortunate pandemic. And I believe at the time, Popeyes was rolling out this chicken sandwich that everybody just couldn't wait to have.
They were running out of.
Correct.
Right.
And the lines were just down the street, wrapped around the building, just nationwide at certain Popeyes. And there was a photo of a woman that worked at Popeyes after a shift during the whole chicken sandwich craving era there. And she's just on the bench, head down, and she looks just absolutely exhausted.
Someone who just lost the Super Bowl of chicken.
Correct.
Right.
And so Myles throws that picture out there yesterday when all this news starts to make its way around. And so, to your point off the top, and I thought you made a really good point, ownership has made a decision that has ruffled the feathers of their star player. This is the face of the Browns. Myles Garrett is. Unfortunately for them, they don't have a quarterback right now that is that. But this guy's going to win Defensive Player of the Year again, and he is not voicing his displeasure, but making it known how he feels. And the scary part about this, if I were a Browns fan, is he going to be so unhappy that he goes down the road again of get me out of here? Because they love Jim Schwartz, the defensive guys. They respect the heck out of him, and they went out there every Monday, Thursday, and Sunday and played their tails off for this guy over the last few years. And so I couldn't help but think of that again. Does he want to go down that path again?
Got paid.
I get it.
He didn't care at that point when he got $125 million guaranteed.
But now you got the bag. Now you got the bag.
Now you can bark.
Now you got your coin. And so hopefully that's not on the horizon, but you got to wonder how Denzel Ward feels about this. Carson Schwarzenegger's a young guy. I don't think he has, enough clout right now to throw his weight around, but some of these vets.
What if it is the right move though? Now
to trade him?
Yeah, he just had like you said, he'll win Defensive Player of the Year. That's fine.
Yeah.
How old is he now?
30? Are we at his 30?
I'm just saying, where are you in a Browns rebuild that with a 30? Yeah, he's 30. Just turned 30
a month ago today.
So,
but Todd Monken would tell us, AR, we're crazy. That's you know what I mean. Like
depends how much leash they give him, right? Because if Monken can get 3 years, and they can get, I guess the question becomes, what can you get for him? Can you get more than a one?
Are you saying ones or more than just a first round pick with some other stuff?
I'm saying multiple ones. Could you get 2 ones? I doubt it at his age.
I think you could with him coming off winning back-to-back deep.
Then it's not absurd to me that if he starts to bark a little bit, that now they don't bark back, that they start exploring something. Because now if you're Monken, totally different viewpoint.
Right.
And I don't think, because they didn't wipe out the GM with Stefanski. So if you fire the GM, if they have a bad year, which doesn't seem like they would, if they wanted to, they probably would have already, that maybe Monken is safe. But Monken's fear would be, we have a bad year, you fire the GM, you bring in a new GM, and now my clock is reset with that guy, and it doesn't feel as good. I don't know, because presuming that Andrew Berry really liked Monken.
And look, they might save this. If somehow, Todd and ownership can calm down Jim Schwartz and he's on board, this goes away. Myles will be happy again. I think that's not the case, though. I think Jim Schwartz is at a point to where he's going to want to make a point that you guys screwed me over in his mind, and I'm going to go elsewhere, whether that's Buffalo, San Francisco, somebody that needs a defensive coordinator.
There are teams in this league that would entertain a Myles Garrett putting them over the top.
100%.
And the Browns are not a Myles Garrett away from getting to the top. So,
right, we've seen that the last few years.
Yeah, so there are teams, whether it's Chicago or you trade them out of the AFC, so you don't have to worry about, like, I'm telling you, that would be something if you explored it and you got somebody to give you 2 1s, that would be a deal. Now, if you can't get that, then maybe you don't. The other thing about the cryptic thing is, and this is...
Would Micah go for... Let me look that up, actually. Micah's younger.
This is a little bit weak in that he didn't go all in on his feelings because he is still employed by the Browns. So that's why I said it's cryptic. It's not direct. It's just, it's IG stuff, it's pictures, it's...
But we know what he means.
But we know what he means.
We know what that
he's exhausted with it?
He's tired of just, I think, all of this drama / lack of winning / the Browns looking bad and him putting out these historic seasons and it equating to nothing.
Do you think he went in there, or do you think they asked him, I'll just bend this, like whether they even gauged his opinion on the hire?
Based off of how Jimmy reacted to his trade request, and remember the report was he said, go talk to Andrew. Don't talk to me. I don't think they ran anything by him. I don't think they did.
I think it was probably implied that he gave off a vibe of, I want Jim Schwartz as the head coach, I would think.
Who knows? Maybe they did. I don't know. Real quick, AR, the Cowboys for Micah got 2 1s, and they got Kenny Clark, but Micah is 4 to 5 years younger
the difference
than Myles Garrett.
Yeah, I think you're looking at, if you dangle him out there, you're probably looking at a first, a second,
couple twos
would be tops, maybe. Yeah. 1 and a 2, 1 and a couple threes.
I mean, Andrew Barry dug in last year and said that we're not trading him. But,
well, right now, we don't even know if Jimmy Schwartz is sticking around.
If he does not stick around, I think that becomes more realistic from Myles' side of things.
All right,
hopefully not.
We'll get the Cleveland view from our friend Ben Axelrod in 2 minutes. Rothman and Ice and the Fan.
College. A time to broaden the mind, question, learn. A time to challenge the status quo. And eat a ridiculous amount of pizza, which you can buy with your Huntington Bank debit card with the Ohio State University logo. Huntington Bank is proud to be the official consumer bank of The Ohio State University and the unofficial bank of pizza. Let's go Bucks! Let's get more from money. Switch to Huntington Bank. Welcome.
Career changers, including veterans and active duty service members. Your transition starts here. Go from GI to IT in a matter of months. Become a certified cyber warrior with training at My Computer Career. Cybersecurity specialists are in high demand, offering IT pros great opportunities and a rewarding lifestyle while protecting our people, liberty, and treasured institutions from cyber threats. Deploy your career in IT today at mycomputercareer.edu/CWP, an elite CompTIA certification partner.
VA education benefits are available to those who qualify.
I'm Leslie from Pella Columbus.
And I'm Wilson from That Other Window Place. And today, we're in my showroom to demonstrate how efficient our windows are.
Whew, it's really cold in here, Wilson.
We call that eco-friendly organic air conditioning.
Drafty windows are a major problem for energy bills and comfort. It's one of the biggest reasons why people get Pella windows.
It really is a problem, Leslie. I'm wearing 3 coats right now, looking like a beanbag with legs.
Get the windows that can completely change the look and feel of your home at PellaColumbus.com.
Wildlife around the globe needs help. And when you help protect them, you become a friend of the San Diego Zoo Wildlife Alliance.
Thank you for being a friend.
Travel down the road and back again.
Your heart is true, you're a pal and a confidant.
Thank you for helping protect wildlife around the globe. Without you, there's no them. Learn more at sdzwa.org/friend.
Rothman and Ice is sponsored by your local Pella Window and Door showroom on Gemini Parkway. The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
Always as tender as a well-done steak. This is Rothman and Ice.
Oh, drama in Cleveland. That's all you know. It's like the snow when they say, when it gets to be like 5 degrees, oh, you grew up here, you're used to it. Cleveland, you are used to this. That's the one thing we all can agree upon. Ben Axelrod with us, our friend, the senior editor at Awful Announcing on the Bryan Heating and Cooling Systems Fan Guest Hotline. Benny, good to have you, my man. How you feeling?
I'm doing well. How are you?
Good. Did the Jim Schwartz fallout take you by surprise? Did you think about that? Like if he doesn't get the job? Because I looked at, when the Bills hired Joe Brady, it was clear that obviously Josh Allen likes him, but maybe they were more fear of losing him if they didn't hire him. Did you think about that before Jim Schwartz reportedly said his goodbyes?
I didn't think about it too much, mainly because I thought the hire was going to be Nathan Scheelhaus. I thought it was going to be either Nate Scheelhaus or Grant Udinski. Everything in this search pointed to them going with a young, offensive-minded head coach. And so you look at that, and a guy like Jim Schwartz, a veteran coach, obviously a defensive coordinator, pairs well with a young offensive coach, and that fit made sense. But then when Todd Monken emerged as the favorite yesterday morning, then you start to think about, like, how does this work with Jim Schwartz? Like, this is Jim Schwartz being passed over, not for a young offensive-minded guy. This is Jim Schwartz being passed over for somebody with less head coaching experience than him and somebody who's a little bit older than him. So if you were to tell me that it was going to be Todd Monken, I definitely would have looked harder at the Jim Schwartz fit and how that would have factored into all this. And then the other part of it is you kind of would have just thought the Browns had this part of it figured out. Like, you would have thought that the Browns, if they were trying to sell Jim Schwartz as the defensive coordinator to a guy like Todd Monken or Nate Scheelhaus, you would have figured Jim Schwartz was already on board with that. So the fact that he seemingly wasn't, it's kind of just the same old story we've been hearing out of Berea now for going on 25 years now.
Yeah, no doubt. Ben, before we brought you on, we were reacting to the Myles Garrett Instagram post of the Popeyes employee out there on the bench when she was just exhausted, where the chicken sandwiches were the hottest food item on planet Earth at the time. And as you know, and last year I think we talked to you about it, where he had the trade request, they circled around, signed a contract. But here we are again with that possibility lurking in the weeds. Let's live in a world to where he does again make a trade request out of Cleveland. What would you think would be the responsible decision for Andrew Berry to make?
I think this time around, I think you kind of have to trade him. Mm-hmm. I actually think the underrated part about the extension he got, I know everybody pointed to the money and the record-breaking figure and how, it kind of just looked like he was taking the money and being content with getting paid on a bad team. The extension actually made him more tradable. He was not tradable under his old contracts because of the way they had restructured it so many times. Now, they're still going to take a hit if they trade him, but it's at least on the table that they could trade him, if you designate it post-June 1st or however that salary cap wizardry works that Andrew Berry seems to be so good at. But I actually think trading him is a much stronger conversation this offseason than it was last offseason, because last offseason it just wasn't viable without that contract extension. Now that you do have that contract extension in place, you're a year into it, you can kick the can down the road with a post-June 1 designation. It's at least viable. So this team's in a weird place because you look at the offensive roster and you think, okay, this is going to be another rebuilding year, and then you load up for Arch Manning or Julian Sayin or whoever in 2027. But the defense is so good as long as Myles Garrett's there. It's hard to imagine this team having a top 5 pick as we saw this season when the offense was even worse.
I found something you said interesting because I did not view it this way with Monken, that he would have been okay with a guy who never, didn't have a lot of experience, that he would have been okay losing out the job to a Nathan Scheelhaus versus a guy who may have been technically more qualified to make that jump to head coach. Because if they hired I looked at it this way, that they were really concerned about who they hired because they wanted that head coach to be okay with keeping Jim Schwartz. And maybe they never, and obviously they were in a tough bind because Jim was being interviewed for the job, so they didn't want to go to him and say, hey, if we don't hire you, would you stay with this guy? Like, maybe they did, I don't know, but like, I looked at it differently. So you say he would have been okay with just a young guy with a lot less experience.
Yeah, so I don't know for a fact either way. I think in my mind, you're bringing in a young guy. Jim Schwartz can still, run the defense. He's still that veteran coaching voice in that organization. I think you bring in a guy like Todd Monken, like that is just kind of there's just a lot of overlap in terms of their age and their experience. And, I think that probably would have been the one knock on Jim Schwartz is his age in terms of, I think everybody ideally wanted them to go get a young, 30-something offensive-minded guy. But if you weren't going in that direction, then I could see why Jim Schwartz would have been upset about it. I think there's a real possibility Jim Schwartz would have been upset either way. I think that if you're, we're sitting here, we're talking about the idea that all of this hinged on them wanting a candidate who wanted to keep Jim Schwartz. Well, if Jim Schwartz is that important, then just hire Jim Schwartz as the head coach. Like that, I can't remember another coaching search in the NFL that hinged on whether or not a head coach was willing to keep a coordinator. So that part of it is just kind of the most bizarre part of all is if Jim Schwartz is so important to this entire operation that you can't afford to lose him, then Jim Schwartz should probably just be your head coach.
Let's lock in on your opinion of where you think the quarterback position is going to go. Ben, do you think they're going to add a younger guy to the room, a veteran guy to the room, or leave the room as is?
I think they're definitely going to explore all options. I think that whether it's a veteran, whether it's drafting somebody, I think, they're picking number 6. And so that kind of takes them obviously out of the Fernando Mendoza conversation. And we don't really know how Ty Simpson is going to shake out through this whole process too. But they still have that Jaguars pick in the early 20s. I mean, that's the range that we saw Jackson Dart go a year ago. I think it gives you flexibility with what you can do in the second round. Like we saw the Saints take Tyler Shook a year ago. So I definitely could see them taking a quarterback within the first 2 or 3 rounds of the draft and adding that to the room. I could see them kicking the tires on a trade for Mac Jones. I could see them exploring the possibility of signing Malik Willis. Like, I think this quarterback room, by and large, is a blank slate. And the one thing I would be surprised by is if they stood pat and we entered next season with a Shedeur Sanders, Dylan Gabriel combination. I think they're definitely going to add to this room, and I think they'll add in a way that at least makes it intriguing in terms of who the starter is going to be in 2026.
Dare I bring up Deshaun's name? Does he see the field this year?
I mean, he's going to be on the roster, and he's going to be healthy, so it's a possibility. I think, what Jimmy Haslam said a year ago when he basically admitted defeat on the Deshaun Watson deal, I do think that kind of looms over a lot of this. And I do think the Browns know that it is, it's been a failure and they're just waiting out this contract. So I don't think that's going to be their priority. I would be surprised, although I don't know what Todd Monken thinks of Deshaun Watson. So maybe Todd Monken thinks that he can sprinkle some of that magic that he worked with Lamar Jackson onto Deshaun Watson, and maybe he will be the week 1 starter. But I do think he is now a part of the conversation, and that's not ideal for the Browns, but that is also the situation they put them in with this trade and the way they restructured the contract and the reality that they still have to deal with it here in 2026.
So we talked about Myles, and it looks like he's again going to win Defensive Player of the Year. A hit in the draft on the defensive side of the ball again was Carson Schwarzenegger, Ben. It looks like he's going to win Defensive Rookie of the Year, and him following JOK and having to fill those shoes, as you know, is a pretty big deal. But that guy just came in, hit the ground running. It looks like they found an absolute dude on defense.
Yeah, I mean, their defense is set. Like, their defense, they do not really need to touch in any meaningful way this offseason. I mean, you can always reload at a couple of spots. They're a little thin, I think, at cornerback, but you still have Denzel Ward, still have Tyson Campbell. That defensive line, Mason Graham, obviously Myles Garrett, Mike Hall. Like, that defensive line's pretty set. The linebackers with Carson Schwarzenegger and Devin Bush, who really came on this year, Grant Delpit at safety. Like, it would be an absolute stunner if this team used the number 6 overall pick on a defensive player. Like, this is a team that I really think through the first 2, maybe 3 rounds should only be focusing on offense, because I think by and large this defense is set at all 3 levels.
Well done, my man. Always appreciate you hopping on. It's been too long, but this was good content that's coming out of Cleveland. They always deliver, so that's fun for us. Thanks, Ben. We'll talk to you soon.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me.
Ben Axelrod, senior editor at Awful Announcing. He was on the Brian Heating Cooling Systems fan guest hotline. All right, we're going to stay in Cleveland next. LeBron gets an apology From whom did he get that from and why? We'll tell you next. Rothman Ice on the Fan.
The only workplace in America to participate in the Doorknob Fart Game. And we also play office basketball and sometimes do radio. The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
I love Right Pack Credit Union because they're solution driven.
I feel valued as a member.
They're focused on the latest technology and the personal connections.
Experience benefits that go beyond banking with Right Pack Credit Union. Just ask our actual members.
I definitely recommend Right Pack to all my family and friends as a credit union of choice.
Visit one of our Columbus area Right Pack Credit Union member centers near you. Based on individual members' experiences, results may vary.
Chronic pain can make life feel impossible, but at QC Kinetics, there's a breakthrough that's giving people real hope. Stem wave therapy.
It has fundamentally changed the way I look at cases after 30 years in practice. So when we talk about regenerative medicine, we're talking about these types of devices.
That's Dr. Tony DeCesaro, one of the nation's authorities on stem wave therapy.
Been around for about 30 years in Europe. Now it's really taken a real foothold. People are tired of just using pills that really cover everything up, and they don't really heal.
This device is both diagnostic and therapeutic, helping the medical team at QC Kinetics find the problem and trigger your body's natural healing response.
It's about giving hope, right? That there are options.
QC Kinetics. Harness the power of stem wave and get relief now. Your first treatment is only $49. Call for your consultation here in Columbus, 380-208-4544. That's 380-208-4544. 380-208-4544. QC Kinetics, 380-208-4544.
Hey, what's up? It's T-Bone. Winters can be brutal here in the Columbus area, and if you're cold in your home with the heat running constantly, it's probably your old, inefficient windows that are the problem. The good news is that Window Nation can help you get through this season because in the last 20 years, they've installed over 3 million energy-efficient windows nationally, and they're trusted by thousands of Columbus homeowners to keep their homes comfy and cozy year-round, while also saving them money on monthly utility bills. And right now, they're more affordable during the Window Nation Buy 4, Get 4 Windows free sale. It's a great time to replace all the windows in your home. Plus, you could get your windows with 0 down, 0 monthly payments, and 0 interest for 2 years. You'll be surprised by the dramatic difference new windows will make. Your home will be better protected against the weather, feel warm and dry, and you'll love the lower utility bills. The pros at Window Nation will guide you every step of the way. Don't wait to put an end to your window problems. Save big with Window Nation's Buy 4, Get 4 sale going on now. The sale ends soon, so visit windownation.com right now. Window Nation, a proud partner of Ohio State Athletics.
Mommy, can I sit in the front seat just this one time? Please, please, please.
No, not yet.
But why?
Because I love you, and you're just not ready yet. Now, get in the back so I can get you in your car seat, please.
Putting your kids in the right seat for their age and size is an act of love. Check that your kids are in the right seat at NHTSA.gov/the right seat. Love protects. A message from NHTSA and the Ad Council.
Did you know that 80% of New Year's resolutions fail by February? And did you know there's a good chance it's just hormones? Hi, I'm Evan Bass, founder of the Columbus Men's Clinic, and I started this clinic a decade ago to take care of men. If your testosterone is low, then motivation, energy, and drive often follow too. And keeping resolutions can feel like walking through mud, and even more so as we age. ED and low T tend to get worse if untreated. And guys, you're not alone. Your physician-led support team at the Columbus Men's Clinic has your back. For years, we've effectively treated ED and low T comprehensively, and with proven treatments dialed in just for you. With same-day booking, you can meet our passionate medical team, and by this afternoon, you'll leave with a plan that's designed to be sustainable for life. The number one thing we hear guys say is, I forgot how I used to feel. Guys, it's time to feel amazing and crush this new year. Call my team right now and let us treat you to an unforgettable experience. Dial 614-300-7400 or go to columbusmensclinic.com. That's columbusmensclinic.com.
Can't get enough of your favorite fan content? Good news, we're on all the digitals. Follow 971 The Fan on X, Facebook, YouTube, The Talk, and Gram. Your digital home for endless shenanigans. The Fan.
The Fan Guest Hotline is sponsored by Columbus, Worthington, Air, and Bryant. Doing whatever it takes to keep you and your home comfortable. The Fan.
Dog friendly. And if you ain't down with that, this is Rothman and Ice.
Well, LeBron got his butt kicked last night, but softened the blow with the tribute and
got a little teary-eyed watching that.
Yeah, had to go for the tissue.
Yeah, reality setting in for the Kang, you know? It was but yeah, absolutely. Cavs got after Luka, LeBron, and the gang, man. 129-99. Cavs put up 42 points in the third quarter. Lakers defense this year has been absolute garbage, but I think it was some of the stuff that happened after the game. AR, they got the streets talking because one of the old Cavs players who has been playing well this year, and Jalen Tyson, he has some stuff to say.
Before we get to that part, I want to get your feeling on this part.
Yeah.
Jeannie Buss,
okay,
Lakers governor, you know, daughter of
Nepo baby.
Dr. Jerry.
Good for her, yeah.
Dated Phil Jackson, right?
That did
for
happen.
A long time.
Yeah,
a decent amount of time.
They were never married.
They were an item.
Okay.
No, I don't think
an item. Yeah, I like that.
Yeah, I don't think.
What's your boy Phil up to nowadays?
The human coat hanger?
Just off the grid.
Not really sure.
See, that's the type of life that I think I would live if I had accomplished a lot of great things and made so much money. You just wouldn't be able to know what I'm doing. I'm just somewhere in the world.
Just Walter White, that thing.
You are a strange balance between wanting the airtime to chase this career, yet also not participating in social media. That's a strange balance.
Yeah, I have no social media presence.
He also said that if he wins the lottery, he wouldn't pull a Phil. He'd actually want to come in and work.
I'd have to get to a certain age before I'd pull ripcord like that. But I would be here
from
3 days
Bishop
a week.
Compound.
I would be here 3 days a week.
From the lair.
From Deer Lodge.
Uncle Bo's living a good life, man.
Oh, when that blizzard comes.
Oh, my gosh.
And he can just boxer short that thing up.
Hey, I love seeing you in person. But when we were at home and we were doing radio from the crib, that was it, man. That was the dream. And seeing Uncle Bo every day get to do that, I'm jealous.
Rothman live from the Turtle.
Yeah. Oh, and his setup at the Turtle was baller.
Maddie goes, I think I could hear some golf balls being spanked in the next room.
Simulator, man, yeah.
Anyway, I wanted to get your feeling on whether she has kind of reached her limit on him now and just everything that's happened with, hey, sign my son. I want to play with him, and we did it. Like, I wonder if they're ready to say, you know, it's
been good.
That's about it.
Want a chip? Yeah. Look, they've done some great things together, but yeah.
Back to your guy.
Well, real quick, I was just going to say here, I think you're on to something. This is the last year of the contract.
Yeah.
And so
Cleveland wants him to bookend the whole thing.
Is right around the corner. The Lakers got a bunch of money they're going to be ready to spend on a young star to pair with Luka. It feels like we're headed down a divorce path with the old Lake Show and the Kang.
Yeah, it's a little bit of kind of we've run our course, and it worked for everybody involved. Cleveland fans certainly would like him to bookend. I don't know how that financially would work because you really don't need a 42-year-old LeBron on the roster, technically.
I wouldn't be surprised if that does happen. He signs like a 2-year deal, like a 1-and-1 with a player option, and you get him at, I don't know, $40 million for a year, and, you know, you got LeBron back with the gang. But Jalen Tyson, one of the young players for the Cavs that's been doing some good things after the game, was feeling himself and wanted to make it known that this ain't LeBron's city no more. It's somebody else's.
And certainly this could be potentially LeBron's last game in this building. How would you characterize his impact on this city and franchise? Well, you could say something too.
This is Donovan Mitchell city now. When he come back here, we're going to make sure that everybody root for him like they did for him. So this is stuff. This is city.
Yes, sir, Jalen.
I don't have a problem with that. He's backing his guy. Donovan Mitchell's been there for a few years and playing at a high level.
Did he think that he was he a little bit upset that LeBron was outshadowing, that there's still talk about it? And
I don't know. Maybe some of that is baked in there. But after the game, AR, there was a little moonwalking off that statement, and here's what he had to say.
There was no disrespect there. I didn't want to disrespect or step on nobody's toes. Like, that's one of the greatest players ever played the game. Obviously, I was a Cavs fan growing up because of him, right? I didn't want to take away him, but I just wanted to give Don his flowers. That was my biggest goal in it. And if I offended anybody or anybody got mad about it, I'm sorry. I take personal responsibility, but I just want to give the man his flowers because we want to do the same thing that Brian and them did here. We want to do that with him as our leader.
I'm sorry, I take personal responsibility. That's actually like a heavy apology for something this benign. Oh, hold on. Sorry.
It's the
yeah.
I don't know if benign is.
It's not an everyday.
It's not an everydayer.
It's not an everydayer.
Big word alert.
Yeah, that's
the
that's a good one. I like it.
This is the thing with. I think Jalen Tyson, being a young guy, had a good game.
Yeah.
Didn't want to hear about LeBron and almost like that ship has sailed. I think it was indirect disrespect. Indirect. Mm-hmm. I think it was you guys should be talking about Donovan Mitchell and not the old guy. Yeah, I think that's where it was. And now he certainly caught himself, but I thought that was a genuine response of we just kicked his butt by 30 points. And you should be talking about the guy whose team it is now.
Here's what I think happened in my mind. I think he was running hot after the game, feeling good. And I think he's true to his word that he wanted to show love to his boy, which I'm here for. But I think he walked down the tunnel, AR, got to the locker room, and maybe Kobe Altman or somebody was waiting for him. Like, hey, listen, young fella. Don't mess up this chance for us to get LeBron.
Okay. I don't think anything can mess that up.
No,
the joke on the internet.
The apology then.
The joke on the internet is that the Clutch Sports SUVs pulled up on him.
Those all black SUVs. Yeah. Rich Paul pulled up in one of those. I think that may have happened.
Can I hear the question again to him?
Sure.
Okay.
The first time.
Yeah, the very first one that got the talk about.
And certainly this could be potentially LeBron's last game in this building. How would you characterize his impact on this city and franchise?
How would you characterize? Yeah, so
and that was to Donovan Mitchell, right? And because Jalen Tyson hopped in on that.
It kind of looked like it could have been to either of them.
Well, because he was kind of in the background saying, "Can I say something?"
Yeah, and you know what? Now that you say that, he got caught up in the moment.
Yeah, for sure.
His boy was there.
Yep.
And I get that. Now I understand. And this is all live mic in the moment.
Emotions.
Just beat their butts by 30.
Yes.
This is the star. And I don't think it's time that I need to, characterize LeBron's impact on Cleveland. Everybody knows what that is.
Well, it's not only that. I'm sure that there was a lot of buildup for this. I'm sure this wasn't the first time that they were asked about LeBron. So I'm sure that there was much to do about that. But like you said, the Cavs won by 30. And so you got to be feeling like a little bit inside, like, we just won by 30, and you want us to, like, sit and talk about how great the other guy is?
Here's what I don't know.
We just won by 30.
And I agree. Here's the thing I don't know is whether that was the first question, the third question. Like, I don't know. I just find it hilarious that he did apology. And in my mind, somebody told him, hey, like, you know what? Like, go out there and clean it up a little bit. We don't want LeBron looking at this locker room and thinking that we don't want him over there, because there are reports now from Dave McMenamin.
Not Pat McManaman.
From Dave McMenamin and now Brian Windhorst as well this morning that Cleveland is open to the reunion. So we'll see if it happens.
Yeah, I'm not buying the, hey, don't mess this up for us. I think LeBron's going to want to book it.
So you think Jalen Tyson just in his mind was like, hey, I shouldn't have done that without somebody?
Well, did someone then heard that comment and then asked him about it
at
later?
The presser? Maybe so.
Is that why that happened?
That's a possibility.
And then I think there's time and space. You settle down. The heat of the game is over, and you rethink it. That's it. I just think if I'm standing next to my guy and he's the star and you're asking about LeBron's impact on Cleveland, what about his impact on Cleveland right now? I think that's what happened.
It is, but we all know LeBron comes back to Cleveland. He's running the show.
Maybe that's just not.
He might be afraid he's going to have a teammate soon and doesn't, right?
Like, or Jalen Tyson might
be thinking, on the team.
Let me apologize because LeBron may come and trade my butt out of here.
Bronny's going to take my spot.
But maybe that's just not in Jalen Tyson's personality. Maybe he was acting like a little bit out of character and got like too spicy for himself.
Yeah. Sometimes you get caught up in the moment.
Mm-hmm.
He was like, what did I say?
For sure.
Top of the hour. We'll get back into it, and more piling on the Browns hire. And this is from a former Brown. You'll get it next. Rothman Ice and the Fan.
We've been your Jackets flagship station since day one. All the goals, all the action, all the memories. Your home for the Columbus Blue Jackets, the Fan, Ohio sports destination.
Men, it's the new year, and for many of us, it's a time of deciding to make positive changes in our lives. This is Jeff for Tri-State Men's Health, and if you're suffering with erectile dysfunction and are tired of the frustration and embarrassment ED causes, you should call Tri-State Men's Health today, because there probably isn't a better resolution you can make than to be done with ED. You see, ED doesn't doesn't just affect you, it can also affect your partner, even if they don't talk about it. But here's some great news. If you're like most guys, the treatments at Tri-State Men's Health will give you back your sex life, because our protocols have success rates that work in well over 90% of cases. Seriously, you might even find you're performing like you haven't in years. So, make an appointment and get ED out of your life. Your initial visit is only $99 and includes blood work, a medical consult, and if medically advised, a test dose. And if that test dose doesn't work in the office, your visit is free. Call 800-900-9654. That's 800-900-9654 or go to tristatemenshealth.com. We have 2 convenient locations in the area to serve you in Hilliard and Westerville.
When you're hiring, have you ever felt like you're missing out on meeting truly great candidates for your roles? It seems impossible to find them, but they have to be out there somewhere, right? Well, they're not hard to find when you know where to go, and that place is ZipRecruiter. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter helps 10 million people with their job search every day. And because these people are actively looking for jobs just like yours, it's easy to find the right person right away. In fact, 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. But if you're not using ZipRecruiter, you're missing out. So see what it's like when the impossible is easy. When you go to ZipRecruiter.com/radio right now to try ZipRecruiter for free. Once again, that's ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter.com/radio. Never miss out on great candidates with ZipRecruiter.
Hi, I'm Chef Franklin Becker. You know the jingle. Now discover the facts about Ozempic, a GLP-1. There's only one FDA-approved Ozempic made by Novo Nordisk. Learn about the real thing.
Talk to your healthcare professional today. Call 1-833-OZEMPIC or visit Ozempic.com to view the medication guide and to learn more about Ozempic. Semaglutide injection 0.5, 1, and 2 milligrams.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Brian's headed to the basketball court, but he's sick of this check engine light. So he goes to AutoZone for the free Fix Finder service,
Welcome to AutoZone. What are you working on today?
where a friendly AutoZoner reads the light in just a few minutes and gives him a detailed report.
No big, just a loose gas cap.
And gets him to the court with a tight gas cap and tighter defense. The free Fix Finder service at AutoZone. No hassles, just help.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Restrictions apply.
Hey, it's Anthony. So I was recently asked how I've been doing in my personally fit arch supports from the Good Feet store. And I paused and I said, you know what? Pretty darn good. Because it reminded me what I was dealing with a couple years ago. My personal journey. I had plantar fasciitis, that horrible heel pain. If I was on my feet for a while, my lower back would be on fire. And now, honestly, none of that. 0 issues with my feet since I started wearing them. I have my Good Feet arch supports in every day. I feel supported. I feel aligned. And now that I feel better, it's made all the difference. I want to work out more. I want to go out more. Just be more active. I'm telling you, over the last couple of years, my health, my energy, my quality of life has all been affected in a really positive way. They've really helped me keep the pain away. The guys ask me all the time, do I really have them in today? Yes, I do, and I'll take my shoes off upon request to show you. Go take the free test walk. The Good Feet store on Polaris Parkway and Stringtown Road in Grove City. Get started at goodfeet.com.
We asked parents who adopted teens to share their journey.
Nathan has taught me to embrace the moment. Age-wise, I'm in my late 60s. I'm old enough to be his grandfather. Will he be embarrassed to acknowledge me as his dad? I think the most important thing we can do is let them know that they're safe, that they're valued and cared for and loved, and that they're important.
I knew I wanted to be adopted by him because of how he taught me to be the person who I am today. And it's coming from a dad that didn't expect to become a dad, and I feel very proud to be his son.
That was what he needed, and he was what I needed. Every day is full of new opportunities. That's what it's been about, realizing the simple things that it takes to make such a huge difference in these kids' lives.
Learn about adopting a teen from foster care at adoptuskids.org. Brought to you by Adopt US Kids, the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, and the Ad Council.
Broadcasting live from the McDaniel GM Superstore Studios, driving excellence since 1916. Chevrolet. Together, let's drive. WBNS HD1 Columbus.
Good afternoon. I'm Ryan Baker. Only 2 head coaching jobs remain open in the NFL after the Cleveland Browns hiring of Todd Monken yesterday. Browns special teams coordinator Bubba Ventrone is leaving the team and heading to the Los Angeles Rams. The 11th-ranked Ohio State women's basketball team looks to bounce back from their loss Sunday to Iowa. They'll host the Wisconsin Badgers tonight at 8. Tyler Danberg and Kristen Watt have the call over on the Fan 2 at 7:45. The Ohio State men's basketball team will continue to participate in the CBS Sports Classic for the next 4 years. This season, Ohio State will face newcomer Kansas on December 19th at Madison Square Garden. Ohio State added Dartmouth offensive lineman Vashawn Washington out of the transfer portal yesterday. This one brought to you by Dr. Mark Levy. If you're snoring and not sleeping, call 1-800-MORE-SLEEP or visit online sleepbettercolumbus.com. Stop snoring, sleep better, live better.
Hitting a hole in one into your ear hole. Ew. This is Rothman and Ice.
Second hour, Rothman and Ice. A little programming note for you.
Buckeye fans, listen closely because tomorrow evening at 6 p.m. right here on The Fan, you'll be getting a Ryan Day show. Coach is going to hop on. He's going to talk about the new coaching hires, recruiting, updates, and more. After that, you're getting the Buckeye Show from 7 to 8, and that will lead into CBJ coverage right here on The Fan. So, again, Ryan Day Show tomorrow evening at 6 p.m. right here on The Fan.
Good. Little state of the state on the Buckeyes going into the offseason. The Browns hire, I mean, this guy's up against it. He's getting it from everywhere.
He got a 5-year deal. Todd Monken did. That seems like that's kind of the going rate, if you will, for head coaching hires. How many of those years will he be there? We shall see. It doesn't seem like this is a guy that's going to be around for a long time, but I don't know.
Why? I mean, Haslam's already being looked at as a very poor owner. And if you throw in the white towel, admit a mistake on him real early, just because they have a poor season and they don't have the quarterback thing settled yet. I mean, that guy's got to get a minimum of 2 years to just kind of see where this roster is going to be going.
Yeah.
But at that point, can you keep the defense at a certain level? And then can the offense match that or get close in 2 years? But if you were giving the over-under on that contract, I would say the over-under on that contract is probably 3.5.
My knee-jerk reaction is taking the under on that. I love what Todd Monken did over in Baltimore, but that's a whole new world over there.
So why is he getting so much hate among Browns fans?
Because it's an older guy.
Retread?
It's a guy that's
done that?
Yeah, that's been in your building, and when he was there wasn't success that came along with it. And so it's hard to, I think, get your mind past that as a Browns fan, where it's like, all right, we've seen this movie before. And that's why I think the Shieldhouse thing, to your point, would have been at least exciting. There's some intrigue there about this guy coming from a place in L.A. to where he may be young but have some creative ideas, because that's what the Browns have been missing, is any type of offensive creativity, any type of offensive pop. They got it this year from a couple of young guys, but it still feels like they're a long way away on that side of the ball, because you look at the last 2 years and where the Brownies have been, it was second to last in points per game this season, 16 a game, and they were dead last year in the league in points per game at 15. And they're not moving the chains either. It's just been a tough watch on that side of the ball. And so I can understand why interviewing Shieldhouse, interviewing Monken, 2 offensive guys, that those were finalists, because they clearly know that that's a need for them. But those guys, whether it was Monken or Shieldhouse, you got to have the dudes. And right now, there's not a lot of those up there in the land.
That's right. I think it's contradicting for a Browns fan to say, I don't think we have the quarterback of the future, but Nathan Shieldhouse was a better choice than Todd Monken. I think that's contradicting. I think that when you look at the situation on this guy, just because the Rams offense has been one of the best over the last few years, and you bring in someone who's tied to them, that you think that's going to instantly work. Well, you didn't get Stafford with him.
Or Puka.
Yeah, so, but I admit that the mystery guy with the high, the upside of Shieldhouse,
correct,
potential upside, is more intriguing than a guy that's kind of been around.
And he wasn't even the offensive coordinator with the Rams. He's a pass game corner.
Yeah, so it's, to me, that's what Browns fans wanted. They wanted the They wanted the chance to see if Jimmy could fall ass backwards into something great. And now they don't feel like he's done that with Monken.
Yes. And you look around, you look at a team specifically like the Bears this year, right? You get this guy in Ben Johnson. How old is Ben Johnson? I don't know how old he is off the top of my head.
I don't know. He takes 40? His shirt off a lot.
He does, yeah. He's
probably under 40.
If you got it, show it off. That's my rule. If you got it, show it off. But how old is Ben Johnson, TLC?
I got him at 39.
Okay, so you get him at 39 years old. But that's the vibe you're looking for, right? You see that happen in Chicago, and you're like, man, like that's what we want. But the other part of what happened in Chicago was a quarterback that's playing at a pretty doggone high level right now in Caleb Williams.
But he's getting a lot of credit, which I think is rightfully so, for tapping into
no
Caleb.
Doubt. Right.
Now, he got Caleb a little bit after he had made a lot of mistakes.
Right. It's the marriage that came together, right, to your point, and that's what this is about for Cleveland. We can talk all we want about how old Monken is, how young Shieldhouse would have been, Jimmy being in the way, did Andrew Berry want Shieldhouse, yada, yada, yada. It's what's happening under center that's been the issue. New England is now in a Super Bowl because in year 2, because of what's happening under center. And so that's why the Monken part of it, he's only going to be able to do so much. And I don't know if they take another swing this year. Do they go after a guy in the draft? Do they bring in a guy, via trade or free agency? We shall see. But until that gets fixed, then we're going to be talking about similar vibes for this franchise.
That's why I can't wait for the Monken press conference. Ask him how he feels about Shedeur. He'd probably say all the right things.
Yeah, he will. He will. Do you have a lean, though, Coach? The question we like to ask on this show, AR, you had to play a game today. Who's your guy? Because Deshaun is, I don't know if he's 100%. It sounds like he's closer to 100% than not at this point.
You got to win a game today.
Correct.
Not just play.
Who you rolling with?
Yeah. I mean, Shieldhouse, I would know this. I don't know if you would know this, but a lot of people said like he was involved in the game planning with the Rams. Even though he was the passing coordinator, they did give him responsibility. And Matt Campbell gave him responsibility at Iowa State. So he's certainly been involved in big decisions. But 2 years in the NFL and no true OC or position coach responsibilities.
Would have been a big leap.
And Browns fans would have been very excited about it because they would have thought that maybe they had a lottery ticket. Maybe because of the McVay tree with KOC and Liam Cohn. That would have been intriguing to people because that's what we would have been talking about, that he is a branch off that tree and the other ones have, worked out to a large degree instead of this one. That's kind of weird. But I look at it as like this guy was in the division. He was with the Ravens. Like you got a little bit of the enemy report now, like you've
got the recipes
he's been
over
in
there.
your rival's locker. Like I feel like there's
some that special sauce.
Yeah,
over
no
there.
one's putting anything on that. Emmanuel Acho, boy, I'm just saying there are a lot of people that are setting Todd Monken up to fail. Like it just feels like that. And Emmanuel Acho, who I believe started his career with the Browns and then got injured and just he had a cup of coffee with them a while back, and he spoke on, this is on his show, TLC.
Speakeasy.
So Emmanuel Acho, who's an analyst now for FS1, I believe.
No, not anymore.
Okay.
That's why he created the Speakeasy. Because the show with, I think it was him and Joy Taylor and maybe James Jones and Shady McCoy, that went away on FS1, and now he created the Speakeasy.
Okay, so for people to know, he was a defensive player. He was a linebacker. So he's speaking now from a quarterback standpoint about Shedeur, which is a little bit of a leap for me. But I guess he was speaking in a reactionary way of how Shedeur should take to this hire.
Any expectation for Shedeur Sanders under Todd Monken, I believe, will lead to disappointment. There is nothing about Todd Monken as a head coach that should get you excited. As an offensive coordinator, you could say Lamar Jackson had an MVP season under Todd Monken. As an offensive coordinator, Lamar Jackson had 41 touchdowns and 4 interceptions under Todd Monken. As an offensive coordinator, you can make arguments under Todd Monken. Stetson Bennett won 2 national championships at Georgia under Todd Monken. But as a head coach, no. Nothing about Todd Monken as a head man gets me excited. I need to see who the offensive coordinator is going to be. That's what I need to see. But what I don't yet see, T, is like, how is Todd Monken going to command that locker room, command that group of men? And also, if I'm Shedeur or anybody in that locker room, why am I listening to Todd Monken? What have you won on an NFL level as a head coach? You're not even a head coach on an NFL level. So I don't even have expectations for Shedeur under Todd Monken, because I believe any expectations I would have, he would not meet. Because why am I excited about it, T? Why?
So I would ask Emmanuel this. So if they hired Nathan Shieldhouse with a lot less experience, would you have been better with that because he played the position of quarterback?
I think what I heard him say was he respects Monken's work in the realm of quarterback coaching and an offensive play caller, but leading the entire ship seems to be a question for him. But my thing is, Todd Monken's going to work, I think, directly with the quarterbacks, whether it's Shedeur, Dillon, or Deshaun Watson. And so that's why I would be encouraged to a certain degree, because that is his thing. And he mentioned Stetson Bennett. Stetson Bennett hasn't turned out to be hardly anything in the league, but we saw what he did at Georgia. And so you just got to give it a chance. You really do. That's his opinion. Fine, whatever. We can disagree with it, agree with it, all we want. But this is something that they need, is a veteran guy that's been around a lot of offensive players, but more importantly has worked hands-on with the quarterback position. And you just got to hope that Monken can connect with whoever is going to be the guy and elevate his play. Because if you get that, then this was a good hire, regardless of how long Monken's going to be there.
Yeah, it's when you say, why would I listen to you? That's pretty undermining. Like that, just because he hasn't been a head coach. Like, that's one of those that I didn't love hearing. Like, how about hear him out? See what his plan is. He has run great offenses. He has been with a Hall of Fame quarterback. Like,
I do think, though, AR, there are professional athletes that do think that way. Like, he's not alone. Maybe not in this specific scenario, but when guys take over, you got to have something, I think, on your resume that guys respect.
Then who should they have hired?
You got to ask Emmanuel that. But I just think that's how certain guys are wired, is that what have you done? And I don't think he's alone in thinking that. Now, look, Shedeur may not think that way. Shedeur may be all in on Monken. We'll wait and see. That's just a guy's take from sitting in his basement doing his speakeasy podcast or whatever it may be. But that's not the first time I've heard guys kind of go down that road of, okay, that's fine, but your resume is kind of light. We'll see.
We'll come back. The Pro Football Hall of Fame doing a little bit of damage control. We'll get reaction next. Rothman Ice on The Fan.
Big voice guy here to remind you that you're listening to The Fan, Ohio's sports destination. Okay, thanks. I have 3 more seconds. Bye-bye.
Do you want free internet forever? Yeah, we thought so. That's why Spectrum is giving you just that. Free fiber-powered internet forever when you switch and get 4 mobile lines from Spectrum. No internet bills, no taxes, no late fees. Just fast fiber-powered internet. Call 833-901-0178 to find out how. But hurry, this deal won't last forever. Once more, 833-901-0178. Or visit spectrum.com/free forever to learn more.
At Great Lakes Hyundai, the savings are so good.
Don't start the new year with the same old ride. Right now, score low lease payments on all 2026 models, like $149 a month for a brand new Elantra or $159 for a new Sonata. Hurry in and kick off the new year right. Columbus or Dublin or glakeshyundai.com. With proof credit, $39.95 down plus tax, title, and fees. 2-year lease for 10K miles per year. New Hyundais come equipped with owner assurance and America's best warranty. A 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain coverage. Ends 2/2.
Listen up, football fans. You won't want to miss this. Right now, new Bet365 customers bet $5 and get $200 in bonus bets, win or lose, so you could turn that $200 into something bigger when you bet on money lines, spreads, totals, or player props.
$200 in bonus bets when new customers bet just $5. It's the only betting app I use. Download the app and see why it's never ordinary at Bet365. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. 21 plus only. Must be physically located in Ohio. Terms and conditions apply. In-app only.
We are the keepers of the wild, America's original and most invested conservationists. For more than 80 years, we've been committed to conserving wildlife and the natural landscapes that define our nation. From rugged alpine ridgelines to peaceful tall grass prairies, we've supported the conservation of more than 36 million acres of American wildlands. Our funding has led to cleaner water, fresher air, and improved wildlife habitat. From abundant fish and waterfowl populations to robust deer and elk herds, nothing is more important than maintaining wild spaces for adventurers to explore and wildlife to thrive. We are America's hunters and target shooters, stewards of the American outdoors.
America's hunters and target shooters, along with firearm, ammunition, and archery manufacturers, have invested more than $46 billion to help state fish and wildlife agencies manage and protect wildlife and wildlands across America. For more information, visit outdoorstewards.org.
Join our resident gambling degenerates Steve Biddle and Scotty Vegas for On the Money, Sunday mornings at 9.
Presented by the Sportsbook at Hollywood Casino Columbus.
All the action, none of the responsibility.
The Fan.
How serious is youth vaping? Irreversible lung damage serious. 1 in 10 kids vape serious, which warrants a serious conversation from a serious parental figure like yourself. Not the seriously know-it-all sports dad or the seriously smart podcaster. It requires a serious conversation that is best had by you. No, seriously, the best person to talk to your child about vaping is you. To start the conversation, visit talkaboutvaping.org. Brought to you by the American Lung Association and the Ad Council.
Hello, it's John Kozik, founder and president of TurboTrack Realty, and I buy houses as is fast for cash. Call me today for an all-cash offer on any of your properties, and we can close within days at 614-470-2000, 614-470-2000. Do you own a property that's outdated and needs thousands of dollars in repairs? Great, I'll buy it. Give us a call today for an all-cash offer at 614-470-2000, 614-470-2000. Would it be convenient for you if you could simply take what you wanted and leave the rest behind? Great, I'll buy it. I buy vacant properties, inherited homes, divorce situations, death in the family, apartment buildings, rental portfolios. I even buy my tenant won't pay me the rent houses. Call TurboTrack Realty today for an all-cash offer and speak with one of our friendly staff members at 614-470-2000, 614-470-2000.
Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
We are looking ahead to a mix of clouds and sunshine here for today, but it will still be very cold with highs only around 17 here this afternoon. Winds out the southeast at 5 to 10 miles per hour. And as we go through the next several days, we are still tracking more of the same with some sunshine and temperatures into the upper teens to near 20 here for your Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And that's a look at your 10 weather impact forecast. I'm meteorologist Aaron White here on 97.1 The Fan.
Bet365, the official online sports book of Rothman Ice. Whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365. The Fan, Ohio's sports destination.
Finding the sweet spot between the over and the under. You're listening to Rothman and Ice.
Oh, the Pro Football Hall of Fame. They got to wait on Bill Belichick to make it all work. The ultimate snub. The hoodie doesn't get in the first ballot.
I think you got to drape the bust with the hoodie. If you're Belichick, he would never do that, but I would do stuff like that.
I feel like when he does get in, it'll be even bigger because he would have waited, and there will be he's definitely a sympathetic figure now, and you could say, and we've said it, he's been a punchline for over a year, and now his name gets brought up in a lot better light because of this. I'm not saying he would have wanted this. I'm just saying there is a silver lining to it. And he's not a punchline. That it's gotten people to talk about his accolades as a coach. Everything he's won. We're not talking as much about his young girlfriend and him going to beauty pageants.
Like doing yoga on the beach.
Right. So
those pictures
in
are
a way,
unbelievable, by the way.
In a way, this may turn out to be something really good for him. Most players have to wait 5 years anyway.
I think that's a tough sell for Bill.
I'm not saying he wanted it. I'm just saying that if you step back for a second, this won't be the worst thing ever. He's getting in. They'll right the wrong. The voters will feel pressure.
I don't know, AR. I just think that not having those first two words, right? First ballot. Not having that's going to sting. It's going to sting.
Right, well.
For a guy that we talk about as arguably the best to ever do it.
Maddie, you and I both thought, I remember bringing this up to you a couple years ago, that when he went to North Carolina, this is the same guy who's 13 wins away from passing Don Shula, and he chose not to do it unless he couldn't get a job. And and maybe there's some truth to that. That
nobody
maybe
wanted to hire
Jerry
him.
Jones didn't want him. Maybe there's some people that said, you know what? He's just past it.
He had 2 interviews with the Falcons, and they chose Raheem Morris.
And I think,
So
too,
maybe
when you have Belichick, right, and the way that he ran things in New England,
or wants to do it again,
you got to run by him, and he's making all the roster decisions and all that. Some people don't want to hand over that power. They just don't. So they can say, hey, Bill, we respect you and what you've done, but this is my show over here, like TLC mentioned, in Atlanta or wherever else he interviewed, because it's a lot to give to a head coach, and especially when you saw some of the results or lack thereof the last few years in New England on the offensive side of the ball. With the coaching decisions that he made and some of the offensive decisions he made roster-wise, it wasn't great. It wasn't great.
No one's going to deny that he perhaps is the best coach to ever stalk a sideline. It's arguable. But it also means that there are some people that viewed his competitive edge of the Spygate as something that was a little bit of a tiebreaker when it came to first ballot. What I would be interested to know, if the people that didn't vote for him first ballot, would it be just about the first ballot? Meaning that he's definitely a Hall of Famer and will be. We just didn't put him in on the first ballot because we think that is elite status of something that he sacrificed when he reportedly cheated.
You're on to something, man. I think they wanted to take that away from him.
And so he'll get in. Now, this 50-person panel, Armando Salguero, who believe is with who? The Miami Herald. Miami Herald.
Or at least was.
Yeah. Had said that in the discussion / debate that there was definitely signs that this was going to be somewhat of an uphill battle. So there was one voter who said outright, I'm not voting for him because of Spygate. I heard Jim Rome say yesterday, well, Randy Moss didn't have to wait. Tom Brady won't have to wait. And my response to that would be this. They didn't order the Spygate. They weren't the head coach. Why I can't make that exact comparison.
Yeah.
The guys that played on the team would be the same guys who ordered the video.
Right, because I don't.
They're not going to.
We don't know. I think the way we know about the Michigan situation, that kind of the players were in on it to a certain degree with the information they were getting fed. I don't know what happened in Foxborough.
I don't know if they were in on it, but they definitely knew that there was something
was
special
off.
coming
Who is
from
this
it.
random guy that's on our sideline?
Or the information that they were getting during the game was so dead on that, of course, and they were probably happy to receive it because they felt like, we're just...
Got the answers to the test.
And we're just... Right. And we didn't steal the test.
Right. Somebody else did.
Right.
Right.
But Spygate was one investigation, right, in 2007?
Mm-hmm.
So, we didn't talk about Bill Belichick during his career as every single win that he's ever had. Oh, there's something under the table going on. That was one investigation for 2007, a year they didn't even win the Super Bowl.
Mm-hmm.
And so, I mean, look, man, I did radio in St. Louis for 2 years.
That was a... It's gongish vibe.
I did radio for a couple of years in St. Louis, the Art City.
Are you serious?
Have you guys ever been up?
That's a gong? It's really not, but I'll give it to you. But, I mean, they still hang on to the fact that there were rumors of Bill Belichick spying on the practices that the Rams were having heading into the first Super Bowl.
We had a situation in Cincinnati, didn't we, under his watch?
Where they sent that kid or whoever that was, got credentialed, right? Was he the one videotaping from up in the press box? The signals
like
of the Bengals sideline?
Yeah.
All right, but all I'm saying is that didn't mar his entire tenure in New England. Those were bits and pieces. Those were moments in time. And so even if you were to cancel the entire 2007 season because... Well, we know we had Spygate going on, so all this evidence is tampered with. We can't accept anything that you did in 2007. Okay, he's still got a Hall of Fame resume entirely around that.
There's no denying what you just said. There's no denying what you just said. This just comes down to pettiness. That's what this is.
So the Hall of Fame issued a statement yesterday.
Oh, okay.
And I'll paraphrase. I I actually think it's worth more than a boing, but that's all right.
Bylaws.
They were threatening, in a way, to eject voters from the panel. Basically, they're trying to get voters to stop talking publicly about the internal deliberations like Salguero did regarding Belichick's candidacy, because they're all coming out. It wasn't me.
Shaggy?
It wasn't me. Bathroom floor wasn't me. And so the Hall of Fame bylaws require opinions during selections meeting to be held in the strictest confidence. And now every man
scrambling.
Well,
right
yes.
Now. It's scrambling. Wasn't
everybody
me.
for themselves.
I swear I wasn't the one that kept him out. I was not.
I'm not the Belichick 12, the 12 angry men.
Do you have some sound you want to get to?
Yeah, this is, well, it's some quick sound. So this is an old friend of the program. Used to be on.
Yeah.
Years ago.
Tom Brady?
Mike Florio, Pro Football Talk, on if he were a voter and he got this letter, what he would do with it.
See, this is why it's good that I'm not a voter. Because if I was a voter and I saw that statement, I would contact my handler in Canton, Ohio, and my quote would be, take that statement, fold it up, and shove it up your ass sideways. I'm out. I quit my unpaid job of giving you hours of work every year and access to expertise that I have built up over years of covering the NFL for free, for nothing. No, I'm not gonna respond like a cowering little mouse to your threat to take, because of a bad voting process you created and a mess that the 50 people that you appointed have created. And I've got to go out and explain myself now. Screw you, Hall of Fame. You can take, you don't have to not take that out of context. Screw you, Hall of Fame. Actually, thank you, Hall of Fame, for giving us 2 days of content. But man, that's just not the way you handle this.
There's nothing in the selector's code of conduct that prohibits these guys from disclosing their votes publicly. That's what he's calling out, that's the flaw. A lot of these voters that we talked about in the aftermath have said stuff. So I don't think that's the motivation for the Hall of Fame's statement. They're doing some damage control because perhaps the greatest coach to ever coach has to wait, and it demeans the Hall slightly in that way. We'll all get past it.
You know who we have heard from real quick? Old T.O. weighed in. T.O., he made his way back to Twitter, and he said, hey, Pro Football Hall of Fame, in all caps.
I want my enshrinement now. I'll show up.
In all caps, they are. Where the hell was this when they violated these bylaws when it came to me in 2016 and 2017?
Yeah. By the way, piggybacking off of Florio, I think we should change the name of this show to Access to Expertise. That's us.
You see that, kids? The St. Louis Arch. It's the gateway to the West.
That is not a gong.
It's over 600 feet tall. There's an elevator that goes all the way to the top.
I failed up.
Dad, can we go?
I couldn't do that.
No.
We went for a travel baseball tournament. I couldn't do it. I stayed at the bottom. Couldn't do it.
I failed upwards in my career.
TLC. See that? St. Louis Arch. Used to do radio in that city. It's the gateway to the West. We'll come back in 2 minutes with Bob McGillicuddy, the voice of the Jackets. The bonus bump still bumping as they head to Chi-Town. We'll talk to him next. Rothman Ice on the Fan.
Got this. Breathe. You got this. You got this.
In the moments that truly matter, what do? Rise to the occasion. Ohio Health. It's time.
I'm fixing to tell you something that the insurance industry does not want you to ever hear. Bullies often delay and deny. I see them sitting on premiums paid and making money and dragging it out for as long as they can. Many times, we're forced to take them to court. I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. Their high-paid lobbyists are on a mission to make sure that at trial, jurors are not allowed to learn that the at-fault party has insurance, and in some cases, lots of it. I can think of no case in all my years where there was no insurance for the at-fault party. So let's fight back. It's all these bullies understand. Tell everybody you know the truth. If you've been injured in a car crash or hurt at a store or business, visit forthepeople.com. We're here 24/7. It's that easy. Morgan & Morgan, forthepeople.com.
Morgan & Morgan, Ohio office located at 600 Vine Street, Cincinnati. Prior results do not guarantee a similar outcome.
Hey, what's up? It's T-Bone. Did you know January is the perfect time to replace your windows? At least if you go with Window Nation, it is. January at Window Nation is buy 4, get 4 window free time. Yes, that's the sale. Plus, with Window Nation, you can get 0 down, 0 monthly payments, and 0 interest for 2 years. Plus, Window Nation windows get a 50-point inspection before they leave the factory. They come with a lifetime warranty, and they can be installed within a day. Buy 4 windows, get 4 windows free sale. Going on now, windownation.com.
Rothman Ice is sponsored by your local Pella Window and Door showroom on Gemini Parkway. The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
Fascinating, informative, covered in dog slobber. You're listening to Rothman and Ice.
Here they come. The bonus bump had just a mild speed bump against Ottawa.
Let's go.
But they've turned it on. Even the postponement of the Kings game did not upset the momentum. They watched a 2-goal lead evaporate last night, and that team was not skating just to nurse a point. They got both in reg, and the man that calls it and does a phenomenal job is our guy, the voice of the Jackets, Bob McGilligan, on the Bryant Heating and Cooling Systems Fan Guest Hotline. Having fun again, my man?
Oh, my job's so easy.
Fun,
right? I mean,
this is.
I'm already sitting on the plane, ready to go to Chicago, chilling.
All right.
Okay.
You always sit in the same seat?
We don't even have the same plane anymore right now, so we're
Okay.
so no.
Bobby Mack, we getting into any deep dish when we touch down? We making that happen?
I didn't know there was a choice other than that. Is there?
Okay, there we go. That's the appropriate answer. Okay, that's what I love to hear.
Let me take you right to the third period. If this was the first half of the season, would you have felt differently calling that once it got to 1 goal and there's 15, 16 minutes left? Are you sensing that there's a different confidence in them now in the third period when they're up 2?
Yeah, there's a different confidence. I think that's fair to say. Was I surprised it got tied? I was not. You could just tell the way that Philly was pushing and that was a real possibility to happen. But, what is most different, I think, is the reaction coming out of that, right? I mean, there's under 5 minutes left. You're tied. You need points. You don't want to give up a point to the other team, but, you can stomach that if you get the second one in the overtime. You don't want to come out of there with 0. And you were alluding to it on the intro there. They didn't play it like that. They didn't play it safe. They didn't play to protect. They attacked. They got the lead back, and they finished the deal. So that, to me, that's where the real change came. Is other teams are going to push, and that's coming. And Philly gets the goal. How do you react from that? I think that was night and day difference from what we've seen for a big portion of the year.
So when the franchise made the change going from Dean to Rick, Bob, one of the things I couldn't wait to see was what was going to be his approach to the goaltending situation with Jet and Elvis. And now that you've seen his plan and how he's going about this and calling these games, what are your thoughts on how he's, kind of going back and forth between the two?
Well, he's gone back to the plan at the beginning of the season, right? I mean, one of the big questions the first 4 to 6 weeks of the season was, well, who's the starting goaltender? Because they're alternating them every other game. And, at that time, who cared? You were winning games, and that's what it's all about. And, I talked to Don Waddell. I had him on the Inside Edge last week, and, he alluded to the fact that he liked that rotation at the beginning of the season. Now, look, both guys have to be playing well for you to have success with that rotation, but it doesn't surprise me that it's been handled the way that it has because I think they would like it to work out that way and, not overtax one guy and not put all your eggs in one basket and all that kind of stuff. And so far it's worked.
So I'm sure you saw the comments that Elvis made when he was talking to Jody, after the game a couple of weeks ago, alluding to what's been the big change. And he talked about, the new head coach. During the time where Dean was running the show, Bob, did you sense any feel that he wasn't able to capture the ears of the team? Were you feeling at the time that there was a change needed because of those type of things and him not being able to get the guys ready to go?
I don't know if it's get the guys ready to go. You can just feel a disconnect. And, you feel it, and then maybe you win a couple of games, and then you think, okay, well, this will go away, and then you lose a number of games, and then it's back again. There was just you could just tell when you're around every day. There's people always say about losing the message and things like that, but I think sometimes it comes apart, and I think when you continue to struggle, especially with the same problems, and those problems aren't getting solved, and the players are responsible for that too. I'm not taking the onus off of them, but I think when that continues to go on, the frustration builds, and there's more of a disconnect, and then there comes a point where you just have to do what they did.
Bob McElligott, voice of the Jackets here on Rothman and Ice. All right, so I know they're not thinking anything more than one game in front of them, especially with the break coming up, but are you starting to sense that getting to top 3 in the Metro is now the path? I know they're certainly right there, and 57 points. Now they're tied with the Flyers, 2 back of the Panthers. Boston's at 65, but they're tracking down the Isle and the Pens as well. So are we looking at top 3 Metro as the goal at this point?
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
That's always got to be the goal. I mean, the wild card's nice, but, those 3 spots are, now hold on to this word, guaranteed. You're in, right?
Mm-hmm.
You're in, and you get to stay within your own division to start the playoffs. You don't have to cross over. Remember the Blue Jackets, it's a great story when they beat Tampa back in 2019, but they actually had to cross over into the Atlantic Division and play. And that division looks pretty strong right now, so who wants to do that? So, you want to get in the top 3. And the road is just slightly shorter, as you were just talking about, but that's where you want to get to. That's where you kind of dictate much more if you're in one of those 3 spots. You're competing with way too many teams if you're in one of those wild card spots. You're in one of those top 3. You're just trying to hold off the others in your division.
As you know, Bob, Adam Fantilli is going to need to be a big piece of this future for the CBJ and raise the ceiling of this franchise. Now that he's been in the league here a couple of years, watching him now in his age 21 season, what do you think of his game and where you think he's headed here in the near future?
No, he's getting there. I mean, last year was fantastic. He had over 30 goals. This year I know he's gone through some spans where his goals have there's been gaps in between them and stuff like that. But, he's on a really good line right now with Marchenko and Marchment. They've got good chemistry. Last night he damn near had a goal. Had Dan Vladar not literally robbed it right on the goal line there. So I think he's fine. He's playing with an edge and grit right now. I like the way that he's playing. He certainly is trending upward without question.
We talked briefly about the trade deadline earlier today, and I know it's not for a little while here, and this could just be a wait and see, right? I mean, this isn't anything. I mean, you got to take this into the Olympic break with momentum, be in the conversation. But have you thought about that, him trying to be a buyer versus a seller, depending on how this goes over the next, I don't know. I mean, he probably doesn't have to do anything in the next 4 games, but where this may be headed?
No, you're definitely not doing anything in the next 4 games. And, you're reassessing when you go into the break. Again, when I talked to Don last week, I thought he was very, he was very open with his thought process, which was he was going to look and see how they were playing going into the break. And that didn't necessarily mean winning games. It meant, are we playing games well enough that we should be winning even though we're not? Or are we winning games that we probably should have lost because we didn't play well enough? He was going to assess all of that. So I don't look for him to do anything, prior to that trade freeze before the Olympics. But, they're going to have to take that 2-week period and really assess. And, it comes back to this. I know there are areas that you want to strengthen, especially if you want to get into the playoffs, and then you do get into the playoffs. But, then you assess what the cost is going to be. And, if you battle back with this group and you feel that this group is, do you want to mess with this group? Can you mess with the group based on what everybody else wants to do? So there'll be a number of factors. But, I think the focus right now is game by game, but nobody's stupid. There are 4 games left before the Olympic break. 3 of them are on the road now, and you just want to go into that red hot.
Good stuff, my man. Where does the United Center rank in your mind as far as calling games in that building?
Okay, well, this is a difficult question because atmosphere, it's fantastic. They're of course, famous for the national anthem, and it is electric. It really is. Even after all these years that I've been in there and experienced it. He
sang at the Packer-Bear playoff game, Cornelison. He sang the anthem for the NFL game.
I love how he sang.
Yeah.
I love it. And and everybody's screaming as loud as they can during it. It's the only place it happens, so it makes it special. Now, where I broadcast from is horrible. It's the worst. It's got to be one of the top 3 worst booths in the league. It is very narrow. It's at the bottom of a double-decker, like, kind of press box thing. I get the bottom. I can barely fit in there. So, and the fans are right in front of you. So when you're losing, they can turn around and give you their thoughts. So I do not like the broadcast from there. I'm going to be honest. I love being in the building.
Yeah.
I love the experience. And I do love when the Blue Jackets win because all those people leave early.
Okay. Well, you're going to see them twice here soon. Once there, once here. And you're a professional. I know you don't bark back at the fans, so you stay poised and composed.
Only during commercial breaks, my friend.
That's right. Safe travel, brother. Thanks for jumping on, man.
Thanks, Bobby Mack.
All right, guys. Thanks.
All right. He's the man, Bobby Mack. Bob McElligott, voice of the Jackets here on the Bryant Heating Cooling Systems fan guest hotline. By the way, they're going to get the Hawks on a back-to-back because the Hawks, I think, are in Pittsburgh tonight.
Okay.
So that's another nice little thing to think about. All right, we're going to come back with a Buckeye Bulletin and the loss they want to relive. They were asked about it. You'll hear it next. Rothman Ice and the Fan.
Wake up with the Fan. Eat lunch with the Fan. Go to bed with the Fan. Dream about the Fan. Then change your sheets. Gross.
Ew, you guys are gross, but stick around in case I don't find anyone else.
The Fan.
Hey, what's up? It's T-Bone. Tired of snoring? Dr. Mark Levy can help with a custom mouthpiece that opens your airway and stops the snoring. No mask, no noise. Call 1-800-MORE-SLEEP or visit sleepbettercolumbus.com today. Stop snoring. Sleep better. Live better.
Hey, Central Ohio, it's Andrew from Home Team Solutions, and yes, we buy houses for cash the easy way. We've been buying houses for over 20 years, and we've seen it all. Whether you've inherited a property, you're behind on payments, the house needs work, or just want to avoid the hassle of listing, we've got you covered. No repairs, no clean out, no stress, just a fair cash offer, and you pick the closing date. We've helped hundreds of homeowners sell fast and hassle-free, and we're proud to have 5-star reviews all across Central Ohio and an A+ rating with the BBB. If you're ready to sell your house the easy way, call Home Team Solutions at 614-962-SELL. That's 614-962-7355, or visit us online at selltohometeam.com. Home Team Solutions, local, trusted, and family-owned. Again, that's 614-962-SELL. 614-962-7355 or selltohometeam.com.
They say glory is earned, not given. We say it's ignited by heart and ends with a boom. Get your tickets today at BlueJackets.com.
Now's the time to buy or renew your 2026 dog licenses. Not only are dog licenses required by law, but fees support the Franklin County Dog Shelter and Adoption Center. Buy or renew your dog licenses today at franklincountyauditor.com.
You still thinking job change in the new year?
Yeah, I need something that's in high demand and more stable in this economy.
IT?
Yeah, cybersecurity, maybe even AI.
That's what I did.
Really? How?
Went to My Computer Career. You don't need any prior experience, and you could start your new career in a matter of months. A lot of IT pros go to school there, too, to level up.
Sweet. Are classes online or on campus?
Both.
Well, I'll check it out. Thanks.
Make this your year. Take the free career evaluation now at mycomputercareer.edu, an Elite CompTIA certification partner.
Financial aid is available to those who qualify, including VA benefits.
Things to know about T-Bone and Tyvis. Bone hates the SEC. Tyvis refuses to drink dark liquids. And they're both big fans of public shaming. Oh, they also host a radio show together weekday mornings from 6 to 9. Listen to it. The Fan.
Your child is sick. With those 4 words, the innocence and joy of childhood disappears. But Starlight has taught us 4 other words that make all the difference. The power of play. Happy kids heal faster. That's why Starlight Children's Foundation delivers happiness through gaming, toy deliveries, and more to hospitals across the country. Learn more at starlight.org.
Hey, it's T-Bone again. Listen up. Sleep apnea doesn't have to rule your nights. Dr. Mark Levy's been treating snoring and sleep apnea for over 15 years with proven results. And now he has an office in Marysville. Call 1-800-MORE-SLEEP or go to sleepbettercolumbus.com. Stop snoring, sleep better, live better.
I'm Leslie from Pella Columbus.
And I'm Wilson from that other window place.
Wilson, one thing our Pella Columbus team is really serious about is to not be salesy or pushy. We're just here to listen and hopefully make your dream a reality.
Oh, I had a dream last night where I went back in time to a dinosaur dinosaur's birthday party and had to fight a triceratops for the last cupcake.
I meant more like home makeover type of dreams.
Oh, okay. I just got the dinosaur thing.
Get the windows that can completely change the look and feel of your home at PellaColumbus.com.
The best words to hear at the TSA security checkpoint? You're good to go. All it takes is a little preparation. Get to the airport early, bring a carry-on bag that fits in the overhead, and have an acceptable ID. Not all state-issued IDs will cut it. Check out tsa.gov/ID and see which TSA acceptable IDs make the grade, like a real ID or passport.
Before you jet, do a little prep, and you're good to go. Check out tsa.gov/ID or the MyTSA app.
All your favorite fan shows are available when you want them.
Head to 971thefan.com and hit that subscribe button.
The Fan, Ohio sports destination. Rothman and Ice present Buckeye Bulletin.
Sponsored by Window Nation. Buy 4 windows, get 4 free from windownation.com.
All right, Buckeye Bulletin time. This is a rarity when Ohio State football has to kind of relive some things and look back and do the post-mortem on a season. And it's odd because of who got to the top of the mountain. And I think that if Miami would have beaten Indiana, these guys would have been asked the same question about if you played Miami again. And I do believe that Ohio State, most of the time, I think that if Ohio State was in a multiple series, a best 3 out of 5 with anybody, that'd be tough to knock them off. That's the beauty of football, single game. Miami, they just had it where it counted a lot on the lines, and that's where Ohio State's weakness was.
You bring up something interesting. Would you be in favor of a best of 3 for a Super Bowl?
It's too physical, too demanding, too intense.
I mean, it is.
Injuries would affect it, and then all of a sudden you're playing game 3 without a quarterback.
We're talking about a college football landscape right now where you got to win, 15, 16 games?
But there's a week between. What are you going to play, a week between the games?
Yeah, a little bye week. I wouldn't want it
the
either.
Super Bowl over the month of February.
I wouldn't sit here and be mad at it if they did.
I would. I think that would change the whole dynamic of football. I do. I think the beauty of it is that it's the most physical game. Like I said, it's
an
intense.
Outdoor game.
It should be outdoors.
You're going to NFL films.
No. Under a slate gray sky.
Play in 3 different locations.
There is no way.
How about this? You have one home, and then a neutral.
Now we're talking.
Hey, could
guys,
Nick Foles win 2 out of 3?
It just doesn't vibe that way. It would take away. Now, I'm not saying if I fast forward my mind to, all right, now it's a winner-take-all game and we've arrived at a game 7
You're
or game
about that
5.
action, boss. You're about that action, boss.
I just don't think it's. First of all, I don't know how much money you'd have to pay these guys to want to play.
Well, how much more do they need?
That's right. I don't. They're just risking too much. It's too much of a violent sport. It's a one game. It's a single game elimination. That's the beauty of it. The unpredictability that I talked about on Monday, that everyone seems so hell-bent on not having. Like, we got to climate control everything. So
ratings would plummet, too.
Yeah, so we're assured of
Super Bowl game 1.
I don't know.
Guys, no.
Ratings would be popping.
That may force me to hit the ejector seat.
You would not be ejecting.
Yeah.
You would be all in. You'd be all in.
This is what I say about the NIL, the transfer portal, all that stuff. Okay, like we still watch because what else are we going to do on Saturdays in the fall?
Like
no, that's not a good thing.
No,
that's just saying.
But I'm saying
the alternative is Seinfeld reruns or Shawshank again. I guess I'm watching college football on Saturday.
When you say or hit the eject button, are you saying that you wouldn't even watch? Because you're watching. You're betting on it. We're talking about it.
It's so unique. I guess the argument against me would be, well, hockey's pretty physical, pretty intense. And that they have a beauty of a 7-game series. And that's the hardest trophy to win in sports.
Yeah.
With the amount of months it takes and the playoff and all that's intense. For some reason, maybe it's just because it's always been this way and I'd be hanging on to it, but
I like TLC's
I can't imagine.
idea, though,
I'll tell you this:
one home, one
here's
away,
my
neutral.
guess.
I'm here for
Let's
that.
do this tomorrow. We'll put a poll out,
How long is it going to run?
You can got to run at least through the Super Bowl.
We put out the longest polls ever.
We don't put it out until the Friday before the Super Bowl.
Okay. Would you be down for a best of 3 Super Bowl series?
Not a playoff.
No. Super Bowl.
So it'd be
only.
single elimination all the way to the Super Bowl,
Best
and then
of 3.
a best of 3.
Let's get it on.
So the team with the best record would have home field advantage?
I don't know if we have a home field. You get game 1.
Get game 1
on your home field. But then the other team's getting a home game anyway.
So we're playing all 3.
How about this? It's like a coin toss. You can receive or kick. Do you want the first home game or the second home game?
Oh
my
God,
brain's
this
hurting.
is amazing.
I should never have
run this, Roger
Never
Goodell.
brought this up. This is bad.
No, that's a terrible idea.
Is this bad?
I don't know,
But I'd still watch. Because you know what?
All right.
What else am I going to watch on those days?
I don't think that's the poll.
Love
Would you
Island.
still watch? I don't want that to be
that could
the
actually
choices.
give it a run for its money.
But I don't think that's the proper
And you know
way.
what? Love Island might be on if we can keep doing
I would
this.
say if you had a vote,
Pushing back these games till April.
if you had to vote on it, not if you would still watch.
My
Those are
vote
two
is
different things.
Absolutely, yes. I want to
Okay,
see that. I want to see it.
Would you be
I strenuously
I want to see it.
object.
the Super Bowl
I want to see it.
I strenuously object.
becoming
It's siren-ish.
Wait, you're going to do it now, live?
Yeah.
You're just
And
going to
we'll
formulate it on the air?
come back tomorrow.
Not during a commercial break?
We'll run it. Here's what we'll do.
That wasn't a big word alert. Oh, yeah, I did say strenuously.
Yeah,
I did.
Yeah. We'll throw the
I think
poll out
benign
now.
was better than that, but that's just me.
I like benign.
I do.
Would you be
That
in
was-
favor
that
of the
was a
Super
good
Bowl
one.
becoming a best 2 out of 3 series?
Yeah, man, lock me in. I'll pay money for that.
Say that again.
How about your options are yes, no, strenuously yes, strenuously no.
Strenuously object.
Oh, man.
But read the question again.
I'm as I try to look up the definition of strenuously. Would you be in favor of the Super Bowl becoming a best 2 out of 3 series?
Yeah,
Or just say best of 3.
let's run it.
Oh, yeah, I guess.
I don't think.
Best of 3 is good enough. You're right.
I got us off track with that idea. But now,
No,
look, we
hey.
got something that we can, thread along the next week. And we'll
As long as we have good conversation,
We're
who cares
probably-
what we talk about?
we'll probably forget about the poll come next week. But, we'll try to
I
remember.
think you just created a new slogan for the show. Rothman and Ice. Who cares what we talk about?
Yeah.
All right, well, that's something. Oh, what a mess the fan is. That's right.
Who cares what we talk about?
You got a gauntlet over there.
That is
for me?
pretty funny.
got a
No, you
gauntlet.
don't over. You guys are going to over.
Where's the
Give me
gauntlet?
the gauntlet, man. I need it.
It's a gauntlet. Ohio State has to play Oregon in the shoe. What's going to happen? It's a gauntlet.
I do think
I feel so bad for them.
I do think their strength of schedule will be amongst the toughest next year, though, before we kick off. I do think that. You disagree?
A Todd Amonkskin? What did you say?
That their strength of schedule will be higher up.
Oh, yeah. It's
So the schedule
nice.
it's not
Nice.
a musical chairs type of cupcake walk for them. That's for sure.
all right. Let's get to the story that I actually teased. You guys can set this up for me better than anybody. So I guess who was asked this? Caleb Downs and
Yeah, so I believe the podcast is Downs to Business,
okay.
which is I think that's cheesy, but whatever. Okay, so it's Josh Downs, who's a receiver for the Colts, and Caleb Downs, who I think you've heard of before. And every now and again, they'll have on one of Caleb's teammates as a guest. This one was Carnell Tate, and the first voice that you'll hear is Josh Downs asking both Caleb and Carnell about what would happen in an OSU-IU rematch.
If y'all had another shot at Indiana, would y'all win?
Yes. Yes.
Maybe.
Why you put your hand up like that?
No, I'm just saying maybe.
Yes.
Maybe, that's what I'm saying. Who knows, though?
So Josh Downs went to North Carolina. He plays for the Colts, so maybe there's some Indiana flavor in there, but Josh Downs is saying it's a maybe. Caleb and Carnell are saying, oh, if we played him again, we'd get him.
So the follow-up to them would be this. Why do you feel so strongly that way? What makes you believe that,
I think
other than the fact that it was a very close game and that you missed a kick that could have forced overtime? I know there were 3 minutes left. I went on and on about that. You couldn't rush the football against Indiana. So what would make you think you would do it the second time? So that's all. I think it just deserved some follow-ups on why.
For me, this just boils down to, AR, I think if you ask 10 athletes, they're not going to bend the knee and say, no, we're losing.
Well, who was the one that said maybe?
That's Josh. So he doesn't have an emotional tie to it.
Do you think the answer would have been the same if they were asked if you played Miami again?
Yeah, they would say yes.
Exactly the same.
We're beating them. You don't ever want to give that to the opponent that, if I see you again, you're going to beat me.
What if you would have asked them, you get to pick one, the Miami or the Indiana game, which one would you feel more confident in winning?
I don't know.
Get them on. Get on the pod, man.
DM the Downs the Business podcast.
Can I hit them up in their mailbag?
I like how you're criticizing the journalism chops of an NFL receiver.
I'm not criticizing. I'm just excited about
the follow-up he should have asked.
I think those
guys
guys
should have. I just said it deserves one.
I used to have a follow-up drop for you. Remember that? We had a sounder for that.
Hey, I was excited about the project. I like the topic.
Oh, I did too. Yeah. I just don't think you're
maybe hit them up in their mailbag. Maybe they take some rando questions. This is Anthony Rothman, the mailbag.
Oh, man.
All right. We're going to get into our final hour, and we'll stick with college football. I know they didn't win the Heisman this year. Do they have a better shot next year? Rothman Ice on the Fan.
Just when you thought afternoons couldn't get any dumber.
You fellas been doing a bit of boozing, have you?
Common Man and Timmy.
Weekdays from 3 to 6.
Your home for dumb. The Fan.
Start the year moving, not hurting. If joint pain is holding you back, listen up. Hi, I'm Tybus Powell with QC Kinetics. There's a way to get real relief without surgery, without downtime, and without putting your life on pause. Dr. Tesner and the other medical pros at QC Kinetics here in Columbus deliver regenerative treatments that actually help your body repair the areas that are causing you pain. Those achy knees, hips, shoulders, back. Instead of facing an invasive operation that sidelines you for months, these treatments happen right in the office and you go about your day. Simple procedure that can deliver big life-changing results. Skip the pain, skip the invasive surgery. Imagine this instead. You're moving better, stronger, planning the year you actually want. Game-changer regenerative treatment from QC Kinetics. January is supposed to be your clean slate, so make it one. Call now for your free consultation. 380-208-4544. 380-208-4544. That's 380-208-4544.
Hi, I'm Chef Franklin Becker. You know the jingle. Now discover the facts about Ozempic, a GLP-1. There's only one FDA-approved Ozempic made by Novo Nordisk. Learn about the real thing.
Talk to your healthcare professional today. Call 1-833-OZEMPIC or visit Ozempic.com to view the medication guide and to learn more about Ozempic. Semaglutide injections 0.5, 1, and 2 milligrams.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Brian's headed to the basketball court, but he's sick of this check engine light. So he goes to AutoZone for the free Fix Finder service,
Welcome to AutoZone. What are you working on today?
where a friendly AutoZoner reads the light in just a few minutes and gives him a detailed report.
No big, just a loose gas cap.
And gets him to the court with a tight gas cap and tighter defense. The free Fix Finder service at AutoZone. No hassles, just help.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Restrictions apply.
Hey, it's Anthony. So I was recently asked how I've been doing in my personally fit arch supports from the Good Feet store. And I paused and I said, you know what? Pretty darn good. Because it reminded me what I was dealing with a couple years ago. My personal journey. I had plantar fasciitis, that horrible heel pain. If I was on my feet for a while, my lower back would be on fire. And now, honestly, none of that. Zero issues with my feet since I started wearing them. I have my Good Feet arch supports in every day. I feel supported. I feel aligned. And now that I feel better, it's made all the difference. I want to work out more. I want to go out more. Just be more active. I'm telling you, over the last couple of years, my health, my energy, my quality of life has all been affected in a really positive way. They've really helped me keep the pain away. The guys ask me all the time, do I really have them in today? Yes, I do, and I'll take my shoes off upon request to show you. Go take the free test walk. The Good Feet store on Polaris Parkway and Stringtown Road in Grove City. Get started at goodfeet.com.
Shop Meijer and bring more good to game day with Buy 5, Save 5 deals on Watch Party fan favorites. Mix and match and save $5 when you buy 5 or more go-to party items, like select varieties of DiGiorno frozen pizzas and Late July tortilla chips. 24 packs of select Pepsi products, plus deposit where applicable, and Brawny paper towels. The Buy 5, Save 5 deals at Meijer. Now that's the good life. A good deal better. Exclusions apply. See all deals in the Meijer app.
Hi, I'm Dr. John Runyon from Runyon Dental Group. Are you missing teeth or do you have uncomfortable dentures? Dental implants can not only transform your smile, they can restore your confidence and allow you to eat those foods you love that you've been missing. When I was in my early 30s, I was in a similar situation needing complex dental work and dental implants. I understand all the emotions that you're feeling because I've been the patient and I know that we can help you. Schedule a free consultation today at runyondentalgroup.com. That's runyondentalgroup.com.
What does it mean to give 100%? It means giving everything you've got, every single day. That's why the V Foundation gives 100% of every dollar donated directly to cancer research. So no matter what you give, we give 100% for life-saving research victories, 100% to making new discoveries that lead to innovative treatments, 100% to groundbreaking cancer research that could one day save someone you love. We know cancer research is working. Over the last 30 years, an estimated 4.5 million lives have been saved thanks to game-changing research breakthroughs. But there is more work to do. That's why the V Foundation gives 100% of every dollar donated directly to cancer research. We will always give 100% to accelerate victory over cancer.
Don't give up. Don't ever give up.
Donate today at v.org.
Broadcasting live from the McDaniel GM Superstore Studios, driving excellence since 1916. Chevrolet. Together, let's drive. WBNS HD1 Columbus.
Good afternoon. I'm Ryan Baker. Even though the transfer portal has closed, Ohio State added Dartmouth offensive lineman Vashawn Washington to their roster yesterday. Washington, who's a native of Springfield, Ohio, comes to be a Buckeye for his 5th and final season. Hear from your head coach during a special Ryan Day show tomorrow night at 6. Right here on The Fan. The 11th ranked Ohio State women's basketball team, well, they're looking to bounce back from their loss at Iowa on Sunday. They'll host the Wisconsin Badgers tonight at 8. Tyler Danberg and Kristen Watt have the call over on The Fan, too, at 7:45. The Ohio State men's basketball team will continue to participate in the CBS Sports Classic for at least the next 4 years. The Buckeyes, Kentucky, North Carolina, and newcomer Kansas will be the lineup moving forward. Ohio State will actually face the Jayhawks on December 19th at Madison Square Garden later this year.
Most shows just skim the surface, but Rothman and Ice feel like the biggest story of the day deserves a closer look. It's time for a deeper dive.
Sponsored by Low T Center. Low T Center, reinventing men's healthcare.
All right, hour number 3. Glad you're with us. Dan Dockich, bottom of the hour, 2:30. Get his opinion on Buckeye hoops. And, of course, the social experiment question of the week, which is essentially how many pair of underwear should a man own at one time?
I can't wait to hear his response to this. I think he's warming up to our just random questions of the week we have for him.
I think we may run out.
Oh, no, we got plenty left in the clip.
Got to go to Kmart, get boxer shorts. Cincinnati, Ohio.
We're not doing Kmart's anymore, are we?
Don't believe so.
They not nowhere in the country.
Walmart might have just bullied them off the block. I don't know.
Okay.
Not positive on that.
I want to say that Kmart used to have like Little Caesars pizza in there, and my mom and I used to go like on Saturdays, and it was nice. It's the only way she could get me to go. Give me some of that crazy bread, a little slice of pizza.
It wasn't the blue light special that got you in?
No, it wasn't. I swear that was Kmart though. I swear it was.
By the way, YouTubers are asking us if we're doing a best 2 out of 3 Super Bowl or we're doing like soccer and collecting an aggregate score.
No.
Shout out to everybody in the chat,
Points
baby.
don't count. Wins and losses.
Oh, my goodness.
The game 3 of the Super Bowl, and you're going to have to win by 21 points.
So, Air, you're telling me right now.
You would love betting on that, by the way.
He would be all in. He would be all in.
This team needs to win by 21.
Like, AR,
the spread's 24.5.
Let's say we pick a West Coast team. Like, say it's
Niners.
The Niners, right?
Okay.
And then they're taking on New England.
Okay.
That you would get one West Coast game, and you're the climate guy, and then that team has to go west and play in New England, and it's 12 degrees in Foxborough for game 2 of the Super Bowl series.
So you're going to play the regular season, and you're going to force a team in a playoff to get all the way to the Super Bowl.
Get a bye
and then
in
have to play potentially 3 more games.
For me and my enjoyment, that works.
The biggest nightmare of all in this is that in game 2, there's a significant injury. And then you've just taken your Super Bowl.
I mean,
it's never been Super Bowls.
We could live in that fear every week with this sport.
I'm not saying an injury couldn't happen. We had one with Bo Nix going to the AFC title game. They lost their quarterback. But I just feel like if you had a significant injury at quarterback, within a series, and within a game, you can understand
let's live in a world to where that doesn't happen, though. That's the other side of it,
That's
where
true.
you're getting the best
The
of the
odds
best,
are it probably wouldn't,
and you're getting, star quarterbacks on both sides for a 3-game series for the Lombardi
Take us all the way through February.
Yeah.
3 radio rows.
See, now you're thinking,
That's a lot of travel for media and fans and logistics.
Who cares about that?
You're the one that wants to put a retractable dome on everything.
I do. I think that's
another bad thing.
I think it's smart business, especially for baseball teams, more than football teams. Baseball, absolutely.
I'll say it again. I like the unpredictability of sports, and I like the unpredictability of weather, and I like the unpredictability of a one-gamer.
What about the unpredictability of life?
It is unpredictable.
You enjoy
we
it?
Try to control it.
We really do. But we
try to do the best we can. I don't, you like to stay at home. And so do I. Lock in.
That's right, man.
But I'm not saying this doesn't sound like something I would even be interested in it.
Okay.
But I'm voting no.
You're warming up a little bit.
I'm not. I don't think I'll never get there.
You started off with I'm done. I'd be done, and now you're kind of like
because you forced me to say that I can't watch ever again, and that's a tough one. To get all the way to the end.
You'd have FOMO. You would have a high level of FOMO. You would. Like look,
fast forwarding to Game 3 of the Super Bowl
at a neutral site. Yeah, You had three different Super Bowl halftime shows.
Super Sunday.
Come on,
it's
man.
Just I'm almost more interested in moving this damn thing to Saturday night than Sunday. Like I'm more into that than making it a best of 3. Who wants to stay up for the Super Bowl and all the post game and then have to get up and go to work. Yeah, nobody likes that.
What are we doing?
Yeah.
Raj, make that change.
Nobody's got any time for that.
Ain't nobody got time for that.
Yeah, so, all right. Listen, the poll's out there. I can't.
When does the poll end, TLC?
I only did one day. My bad. You told me to do it through the Super Bowl, and I forgot.
Yeah, because then we could have, delete it and re-put. How many votes you got? Like 4? Like, if we could probably start it again.
Hey, 15.
Okay.
Hey, let's play the game. 15. What do you think out of the 15 voters?
It's 100% no in my mind. Like, I think because they're going to have the same reaction I did, unless you sit and think about it for 20 minutes, and then maybe, or there's always that one person that just wants to mess with the poll. I wouldn't do it. But
what if they like it, like I do?
He likes it.
Where are we at?
Give it to Maddie. He'll eat anything.
15 votes. What are the results?
Looking like tennis. 15 love.
There you go. There's some traditionalists.
In favor of what, though?
Oh, it's got to be no. Yeah, come on. Please don't.
In favor of keeping it the way it is.
Yeah, okay, good.
As if that was the coin flip.
No, see, I think people are they're not seeing the vision yet. They're not living in that world to where that would be awesome. You guys are just a little sleep on this. It's okay. I'll stay over here on my side.
It would mess with history is the problem.
Oh, history. Here we go with that.
It would change it in that way, yes.
That does matter.
We mess with history in every sport. Now college football is completely different.
We really do. Look what they've done in baseball.
And it's made it worse.
I don't disagree.
Well, this is maybe a little better idea than Maddie had about the skyscraper guy who he wanted to get to the top and then be forced to jump to another building.
You said that?
No,
I'm kidding.
I didn't say it. To really prove his athleticism.
Right. He needs to get to the top and then somehow jump to the next building.
He really only showed one skill set by climbing for an hour and a half.
Zip line to the next building.
What's his versatility like?
Wanted to see a little bit more, that's all.
He's only a one-tool player.
Yeah, exactly. All this guy can do is climb. It's like all Chris Carter does is catch touchdowns. All this guy can do is climb. All right. I think the Arch Manning hype is going to be the storyline again. Is the hype going to be doused? Much more of a wait and see? than it was going into this year?
That's a good question.
I don't think he's going to be the Heisman favorite.
I don't think the hype can be higher than what it was last year, though. I really don't. Like, what are they going to say this year that they already didn't say last year? Oh, he's going to be a number one pick again. You guys already told us that. That didn't work out. So he will absolutely be in that handful of guys that we deem as Heisman finalists, potential number one overall picks. And I think this is a good call by him to run it back because it just didn't look like he was quite ready. And so here he is with another lap around the track to prove that last year's hype is who he can be.
Boy, that would have been great, though, if we would have forced the NFL teams into
Mendoza or him.
Yes, because they would have had the proven product in Mendoza versus the hype of a Manning.
I'll tell you who would have loved that scenario.
Nice.
I'll tell you who would love that scenario, the New York Jets.
Mm-hmm.
Got that right.
Because they'd be sitting there at 2 like, we're good either way.
Yeah, right. Well, maybe if they think about him that way.
I just think, no doubt. But I just think they're in a position now to we're like, dang, we sucked again this year, and we're probably not taking Ty Simpson second overall.
This is the second time the Jets got screwed out of a Manning.
They'll be back up there.
Yeah, I was never in the camp that Manning was a bust, or nor am I now. Just think he needs some more seasoning. He couldn't live up to the hype, and I thought his game against Ohio State wasn't maybe as bad as it was described. It was kind of an ugly game, and he still had a chance with the ball in his hands in the last possession kind of deal, so he didn't live up to that fairy tale. But there's a little fatigue now with the Manning situation. Now they'll probably wait and see. I think that when you look at Ohio State, Julian Sayin has the number one weapon in the country back. Mm-hmm. That's huge. Mm-hmm. I think the better question is, if you had to pick a Heisman winner, would it be Sayin or Jeremiah Smith? If you had to take your money and put it on one or the other.
What about Bo Nose?
I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't. I mean, I'm
not going to put it past him to have a monster year. And like, is he we're talking deep into the season, a fringe guy for the Heisman stuff for Bo Jackson. Julian should be the favorite, and then Jeremiah should absolutely be right there with him. But I think Bo Jackson's in store for a banger of a year. I do. Especially with Arthur Smith coming in and what we're hearing about what he can do with the run game, But yeah, those two guys should be the top two.
It'll be a fun off-season topic. When we come back, I'll give you a pre-snap read. And is Brady perhaps going to get similar treatment to his former coach? A special guest weighs in. Rothman Ice and the Fan.
Tweet from a listener. Are you carrying the Buckeye game today? Considering we've never not carried one, yes. The answer is yes. The Fan.
Why settle for a cold burrito when you can get toasted at Hothead Burritos? Crispy golden on the outside, perfectly melted cheese on the inside. Create your burrito, quesadilla, or bowl and get it toasted at Hothead Burritos. Get up and get you some.
People don't realize that glaucoma is one of the leading causes of blindness.
Because there are often no early symptoms, nearly half of those with glaucoma may not even know they have it until vision loss has occurred.
I was diagnosed with normal tension glaucoma in July of 2020. And what we found out at that point was I had already lost 40% of my sight. And you think it only affects people that are, 75 or older, retired, grandparents, and that's not the reality of it.
I didn't think at all glaucoma was going to affect me because I didn't know of anyone that had glaucoma, no one in my family. When you have glaucoma, you can't get back that sight that you lost. And so early detection and treatment is vitally, vitally important.
Don't miss life's most beautiful moments. Schedule an eye exam today.
National Glaucoma Research, a Bright Focus Foundation program, offers free resources and tips for healthy vision.
Learn how to protect your sight at stopglaucoma.org.
Once there was a man who couldn't stand.
A mom who couldn't wait.
A scientific community that said it couldn't be done.
And then you.
And then I.
And then we brought neuromuscular disease into screaming color with the Muscular Dystrophy Association.
For 75 years, our voices have thundered through the halls of Congress.
We've willed the impossible into existence.
We've pushed the science,
raised the funds,
shifted the narrative,
and transformed the reality of life with neuromuscular diseases.
For 75 years, we've built communities together,
established the field of neuromuscular medicine,
and made it thrive.
Call that a legacy.
Call it impact.
Call it momentum.
Just call it ours.
Because it's the generations of community heroes that give MDA the strength we have today.
And until neuromuscular disease is a thing of the past, You couldn't stop us if you tried.
Join us and celebrate 75 years of breakthroughs at MDA75.org.
My name is DeMar Hamlin. I play for the Buffalo Bills, and I play safety. CPR saved my life. I've teamed up with the American Heart Association as a national ambassador to help create a nation of lifesavers, turning bystanders into lifesavers. Through CPR education and access to AEDs, nearly 3 out of 4 cardiac arrests that don't happen in hospitals happen in homes. Join me to ensure everyone has the chance to live longer, healthier lives. Visit heart.org/nation.
It's time for Super Bowl 60. And since we're the official radio home of the Super Bowl, we can say Super Bowl and not big game. So we're going to say Super Bowl a lot. Seahawks and Patriots in the Super Bowl, Sunday, February 8th, here on The Fan.
We got a higher home appraisal after we put away our African art and family photos.
Has this happened to you because of race or national origin? Contact HUD at hud.gov/fair housing. A message from HUD and the National Fair Housing Alliance.
Hello, it's John Kozik, founder and president of TurboTrack Realty, and I buy real estate as is fast for cash. Give us a call today for an all-cash offer at 614-470-2000, 614-470-2000. I buy vacant properties, inherited homes, divorce situations, death in the family. I even buy my tenants won't pay me the rent houses. Give us a call today for an all-cash offer at 614-470-2000, 614-470-2000.
It's easy to think of winter as a time when not much is happening in the landscape or in the pest and disease world. However, there are a couple of services that can help your trees and shrubs during the colder months, like horticultural oil and anti-desiccant applications. Visit trees4ohio.org. That's trees4ohio.org to learn more and to find an ISA-certified arborist in your area who is trained and has the proper equipment to perform your tree work safely.
Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
We are tracking sunny to partly cloudy skies here for today, but it will still be very cold with highs only around 17 here for this afternoon. Winds out the southeast at 5 to 10 miles per hour. And we are tracking very cold conditions here for the next several days with highs in the teens and overnight lows below zero here as we go into your Friday, Saturday, and even Sunday. And that's a look at your 10 weather impact forecast. I'm meteorologist Aaron White here on 97.1 The Fan.
Bet365, the official online sports book of Rothman Ice. Whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365. The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
Rothman Ice present Free Snap Reads.
Sponsored by Dr. Mark Levy. If you're snoring and not sleeping, call Dr. Mark Levy today at 1-800-MORE-SLEEP.
All right, Ice Bet365 time.
Let's get into it, brother, because at Bet365, they have awesome deals waiting just for you, especially if you're a new customer. New customers at Bet365, all you're going to have to do is bet $5. You're getting a nice little goodie bag after that in the form of $200 in bonus bets, win or lose. So you could take that $200 and turn it into something bigger and better when you bet on totals, spreads, money lines, or player props. Folks, as always, keep an eye out for the Daily Boost and Super Boost as well. I'm looking around the corner real quick, AR.
Mm-hmm.
What Super Bowl is this? Super Bowl
60.
60? Okay. Super Bowl 60, JSN touchdown right now.
Even money.
Plus 100.
Yep.
Plus 100.
Had it last night.
Yeah, I'm going to lock in on that, man. We're seeing a similar vision there. So, yeah, give me JSN touchdowns in his last 2 games, plus 100 to touch the paint in the bowl.
Rarely do I bet the NBA, but when I do, it's usually guys playing against their former team.
And you're drinking a Dos Equis.
Dos Equis? Sock it to you? Some sake or a Dos Equis? Yeah.
That's what I meant to say.
Well, you just got dropped by the king. I'm going to take Michael Porter over 25.5.
Okay.
Michael Porter Jr. back in Denver. First time since being traded to the Nets. Nuggets allow a lot of points to guys of his position. He's kind of crushed it in a lot of similar games. He's gone perfect versus teams that are allowing top 15 points to guys of his position. So I'm going to play the revenge narrative.
I'm here for it.
And I'll take him over 25.5.
Download the app and see why it's never ordinary at Bet365. If you have a gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER. 21 plus only. Must be physically located in Ohio. Terms and conditions apply. In-app only.
And may the odds be ever in your favor.
We've been talking a lot about the Belichick snub over the last 24 hours. A lot of massive players coming out calling it insane. And you get that. He's got a lot of respect within the game. And I said earlier that I think this actually will work for him, when he actually goes in, because it'll be comical when he does, because of the fact that everyone knows that it should have been earlier. But clearly some voters, enough of them, 20% of them probably felt like that the first ballot eliteness that he forfeited by the Spygate stuff and illegally taping other people, other sidelines. And so he got nailed for that, got fined for it. Patriots got whacked for that as well. But a man who played for this guy back about, 15 years ago, I believe, is on the line with us. And that's our friend, Robert J. Carpenter III. My man.
So, hey, how are we doing, sir?
I'm great.
The question I have for you.
Go ahead, caller.
I was listening. Yeah, I was listening. First time, long time. So as I was listening to you guys talk about this earlier, and you both, you had landed on the fact that this was the Spygate was part of it. This was part of his penance for that, and some of the voters held it against him. Do you think they'll do the same thing for Tom Brady then?
I don't. I said earlier to Maddie when it was brought up that Tom Brady, won't have to wait. People don't think he wasn't. The Deflategate is interesting. You and I did a lot on that when that happened.
Oh, yeah.
And he got suspended for the first 4 games of that season, and he was fined a lot of money and all that. I think this is going to scare a lot of voters. I do. I think if anything, they see the blowback on this, and they'll want no piece of that with a player. And I also think there's probably a little more inherent respect for Brady. I don't know why. Maybe because he's the best player to ever play at that position in a lot of their minds. And I just don't think they'll look at it the same. Plus, do they really look at deflating, taking some air out of footballs the same as they would as secretly videotaping the opposition? I think they won't look at it the same.
And so that's my question is, taking the air out of footballs, is that an inherent advantage? We had talked about it. Aaron, his a little more double stuffed, maybe super pumped. Yeah, some guys like him a little more flat and deflated, like a balloon you find from a party 2 years later behind the couch. There's a lot of things. I think that's very hypocritical that if voters look at that, and I'm not saying that Tom shouldn't be, I think Bill should have been, but the fact that they're going to, that goes back to the Stowaway thing in baseball. You're telling me that someone that did something to get an advantage, we're going to adjudicate it one way for one person and one way for another. Bill didn't have anything to do with that. Remember when he came to the podium, Rothman, and he was like, "You got to talk to
Ask Tom about that." Right.
He just wait. Hey, school bus, here you go, buddy, and just threw him right underneath there. He wanted no part of that.
Let me ask you this.
That's my thing.
I don't think the league ever really actually proved accurately that the footballs were deflated. But I believe they were, but I don't think they ever really proved it. And I think with Spygate, there was more evidence. The league spent 2 years trying to prosecute that.
He destroyed a cell phone. People either said it happened or didn't. He got suspended, correct?
Yeah, 4 games, I think, to start the next year.
Yeah. You know how much you get for a steroid suspension in your first one? 4 games.
Yeah.
So, you can say
You're
they
right.
didn't prove it. Well, Rothman, if you're like, hey, I know you got the death penalty. We didn't really feel like we proved it, but we think that it may have happened. They rendered a punishment. It's I'm not sitting here saying that it should be or shouldn't be, but that's the thing with this. And the fact that if it was Bill Poley, that just, it's shame on him. And that's the problem I have with some of this is they're they have writers, football media people do this, so they should be able to eliminate their inherent biases. If not, why wouldn't you just have former players and coaches do it? They're the ones that watch all the games. They're playing against these guys. They're their contemporaries. And I feel like Bill Poley, being a contemporary of Bill Belichick, I think that there may have been a little animosity that crept in there where he didn't like it, and he felt that maybe he got off easy, and he stole a Super Bowl or 2 from him.
Mm-hmm. No, I do believe that. Maybe the bigger indictment is that it was so they were easily convinced then, 20% of them. Or they already felt that way going in. Polian just made them feel more confident about how they were feeling. Because you could make the indictment that, well, why would, that's only his personal stuff. That's not going to influence my vote. But clearly enough guys felt that way.
Well, I mean, Rothman, you're a master of the art of persuasion. I mean, I've seen it with my own eyes. I've watched it happen. It's amazing watching people melt before you as you talk to them. There's another theory that was floating. I love it, Rothman, because they call it, the "you got it" theory. Where you ever watch guys play, and it's like, hey, why did he stop running? Well, you had him.
That's right. The "you got him" defense. I always said to you.
The "you got him" defense, and there may have been something in this, and I don't know that this is the case. And this is why I think it needs to be clarified in the thing. Like, hey, if you think he's a Hall of Famer, I don't care if it's his first time up, his last time up, or whatever. You vote yes for him. But it may have been a little bit where, like, everybody else is going to vote for Bill. I'm kind of on the fence, but I think I could maybe vote for Ken Anderson or vote for somebody else that maybe wouldn't otherwise get that vote since you only have your finite 3 votes. And it may have been a little bit of the "you got him" situation where they're like, hold on, wait, we didn't get which of 10 or more of you with me didn't vote for him? I thought you guys would all be on the team.
Yeah, that's a great point. And I think it may be accurate versus the witch hunt of finding out who didn't vote for him. Maybe they all thought that, you're right, my vote's valuable. Bill's gonna get in no matter what, and I'm gonna use it for one of these guys that may be their last shot.
It's the thing where it's so obvious that why wouldn't somebody vote for him? That you kind of, it's like a game of Clue, like, well, everybody's going to vote for him. So maybe I could vote for somebody else and see if I can get one of my guys in here that I really like. And I'm not saying that happened, but as I was sitting there thinking about it when you guys were talking, I was like, and I've referenced the Rothman, "you got him" defense. I thought that, hey, maybe that's a little bit of could have what happened. Because I've seen that stuff happen before where, it's like, well, why did everybody vote for him? And then all of a sudden they don't have enough because it seems like that's so obvious that you think the other 49 people would have done it.
Yeah. Well, it depends. If the backlash didn't happen the way it happened over the last 24 hours, then maybe your theory about Tom Brady would still exist, that maybe he may not. But the backlash has been so big and one-sided in favor of Belichick that I just can't see that happening to Brady based on Deflategate. But,
Jimmy Johnson coming out and just going strong. And that's a guy, Jimmy Johnson is one of 3 guys to win a Super Bowl and national championship. He is as well respected as anybody. And by God, he was one of the best spokespersons for extends as you're going to find. And he talked about chartering a jet up there that he was going to cancel now because of it. And that's the thing. If you're talking about other guys that have won multiple Super Bowls, I think people will put Jimmy Johnson as one of the great architects and coaches of all time. Is what he did. He really built a team that won 3 Super Bowls, and he coached 2 of them. And to see that, I don't think people probably anticipated that much backlash because of kind of Bill's not really a warm dude, and I don't think that he's really well liked. But there's a difference, Rothman, as you know this, being well liked and being respected. And I think everybody respects what he does.
That's right. And he'll get in, and then when that day happens, it'll be even bigger than it probably already would have been. But like Maddie said earlier, he'll never be able, I don't know how much it matters to him, because listen, this is a guy who bailed out of the NFL 13 wins away from Shula. So which I thought was impossible.
The NFL might have bailed on him.
That's true too. I said that earlier. Yep, that maybe he couldn't get the job he wanted or nobody offered him. But I just see that when he does go in, that will be a fairly monumental day.
I think the term celebration is what you're looking for.
Right.
And our friend Todd, I think, really outlined it well. It'll be sexual and violent, Rothman.
Belichick will pop out at the right time. You know that. And you'll be there.
He waited 49 years for Jordan to be born. He can wait another year to get in the Hall of Fame.
If this makes her the presenter, then it was all worth it.
Oh, I hope so. Maybe that's his big dunk on everybody. Right. Here to present the lovely Miss Jordan.
Oh, my. Appreciate you, buddy. Thanks for weighing in. It's good stuff. Good insight.
My pleasure. I just love you guys.
Thanks,
Maddie, I love you too. Give me a hug. There we go. Virtual hug.
Yes. That's right. We'll hug it out. Thanks, man. That is our guy. Bobby Carpenter with us. Longtime listener. And apparently first-time caller. We'll come back in 2 minutes with our friend Dan Dockich on the Buckeye Hoops team and more. Rothman and Ice and the Fan.
Hey, it's Bobby Carpenter. Start the year off moving, not hurting. With joint pain, if it's holding you back, listen up. There's a way to get relief without surgery, no downtime, and without putting your life on pause. Dr. Tesner and the other pros right here at QC Kinetics in Columbus, Ohio, they can deliver regenerative treatments that actually help your body repair areas that are causing you the pain. Those achy hips, knees, shoulders, back, wherever it hurts. And the results, 97% of Cleveland patients report satisfaction with their results. So instead of facing an invasive operation that sidelines you for months, these treatments, they happen right in office and you go about your day. I should know. I've had them. My dad has had them. They feel good and they can deliver life-changing results. Imagine moving around better, being stronger, planning the year you actually want. Do not wait. January is supposed to be a clean slate, so make it yours. So go call 380-208-4544. That's 380-208-4544.
I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan, America's largest injury law firm. Over 35 years, I've seen it all. Car crashes, work injuries, defective products, medical mistakes, lives flipped upside down in an instant. But I've also seen something else, the power of fighting back, the power of winning. Over $30 billion recovered and counting. Size matters, reputation matters, results matter. There's only one Morgan & Morgan.
Morgan & Morgan, Ohio office located at 600 Vine Street, Cincinnati. Prior results do not guarantee a similar outcome.
Planning to buy a home in 2026? Not sure where to start? The Ohio Housing Finance Agency can help. With a step-by-step homebuyer's guide and financial tools, the Ohio Housing Finance Agency can make homeownership part of your future. Eligible homebuyers may qualify for down payment assistance and reduced mortgage interest rates. To see if you qualify and to find a mortgage lender, visit myohiohome.org. Again, that's myohiohome.org. Homeownership. Make it part of your future. Sponsored by the Ohio Housing Finance Agency, aired by the Ohio Association of Broadcasters, and this station.
Rothman Ice is sponsored by your local Pella Window and Door showroom on Gemini Parkway. The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
The perfect ratio of sports talk, dogs, pro wrestling, and gambling advice.
It's science.
You're listening to Rothman and Ice.
All right, he's our guy. He's in Indy. He's at the Sports Ticket. Don't at me on Outkick. Can't miss him. Love him. Dan Dockich with us now on Rothman and Ice. My man, how you feeling? You buried alive over there in snow like we are?
Yep, buried alive, trying to get cars to start. I got all kind of daughters' cars, stepdaughters' cars, pain in the ass. But the sun is out, and I'm talking to you. Life is good. What are you talking about? It's great. Come on, let's go. Let's go.
Let's do it. Buckeyes beat Penn State. You're supposed to beat Penn State. But I want to ask you this. I remember, and maybe this is wrong, most coaches, when they were all about the first 5 minutes of the second half. Wasn't night like that with you guys? Like, Ohio State had an 18-point lead. And I don't know, maybe just human nature when you got an 18-point lead at half to not be intense coming out. But that thing got dicey. It was a two-possession game, or I think with a minute to go. How hard is it to coach with a lead like that? Or is it on the coach to step on somebody's neck in the first 5 minutes and make that thing done?
Well, I'll tell you, a coach ain't making jump shots. A coach can do, and I'll tell you exactly what coaches do. They go in there and go, look, this is what Knight used to do. I did this. How would you play if we were down 18? How would you come out and play? You'd come out busting your ass if we were down 18. You don't want to get embarrassed. And that's what Penn State's going to do. And guess what? You can harp on that. But that's why you always see coaches nervous with a couple minutes to go and an 8 or 9 point lead, and fans are leaving and crowds chanting for the walk-on because coaches know. Hey, we saw it last night. We've seen it all week. Last night, Minnesota, I think it was 18. They were up on the road, maybe at halftime against Wisconsin. I'm telling you, you look. I'll give you a story. We had a kid named Brandon Pardon, great player out of his school's one of my favorite. I don't know. Somewhere in Ohio, I can't remember. It drives me nuts. I will this afternoon. He hits 3 threes in the first half at the shot clock buzzer. We're up 21 on a good Akron team at home, and I'm damn near crapping myself. And my sister's like, Coach, you all right? We're up. I go, no. It's a fake lead because we hit these 3 threes at the end of shot clock. We weren't getting good shots, but we were making them. And we ended up winning by 30, and I was wrong. But anyway, that's what coaches do, man. I'm telling you. Mm-hmm. And you just you just try to be rational. Like, fellas, if we were down 18, we'd be pressing, we'd be fighting, and you're going to have to play against that. So let's go. Forget about the lead. Understand how hard you're going to have to play in this second half. And players don't do it.
Yeah.
Anthony, I swear to God, unless they hit shots. Now, if they hit shots, all bets are off. We saw it, Virginia. Virginia was up on Notre Dame at Notre Dame, or down on Notre Dame at Notre Dame by 15 the other night, came back and won. Rutgers was up, 12, 15, second half. You see it all the time. And it's, oh, man, you love being up, though. You'll take it as opposed to being down and having to fight back.
One thing we've talked to you about, Dan, this year is the depth for Ohio State, and is that going to maybe come back to bite them in time? And I wanted to ask you this, as a former coach, how did players gain trust with you? Because I always watch teams like this and certain basketball teams, and I'm like, why doesn't he go deeper into his bench? And maybe it's a trust thing, maybe it's a you thing, who knows? But when it came to you, when you were, how did they gain trust?
Yeah, it's always a trust thing. You play who you trust, and that comes through practice, and that comes through seeing and looking at your team every day. I used to study my teams every day. In baseball, they call it 3 o'clock hitter. A guy hits the living hell out of the ball at 3 o'clock, but the game's at 7. And all of a sudden, it gets tight, and where the hell is he? But to your point, that's hard, man. There's a feeling you have as a coach by watching practice. And here's the way you gain trust. You don't make mistakes. Well, what does that mean? Well, you don't turn the ball over. You don't foul unnecessarily. You're not the guy that goes, my bad, because you just missed your third block out in a row. And you see that every day in practice. I hear people say, and you ask the best question you could ask this time of year, because teams are messing with that. My son and Ryan Pete in Illinois State, they just benched 2 of their starters. One kid, I don't even think he's ever been benched. But you know what? Kids kind of fell out of trust to start a game. There's a lot of different areas to trust. But to your point about the bench, if practice really means something to the coach, the coaching staff, and it means something relative to playing time, and you're honest about it, kids will more than likely play their way out of that trust as opposed to play their way into that trust. And this time of year, man, is it hard. But you got to do it you got to say, all right, let's just give this kid a shot and see what happens. It's just so hard because it is 1,000% about trust. You don't play anybody for any length of time that you don't trust. I'll tell you this, that Michigan-Ohio State game was interesting to me because, that was kind of old school. Michigan went to the foul line way more. I think, 8 or 9 times for Ohio State, 15 makes for Michigan. The inside got them. And that's where maybe if you got a guy on the bench that's big, I don't know Ohio State's roster well enough, but you got a guy on the bench that's big, you're like, you know what? I'm going to throw this guy in there. To hell with it. And see if he can play under the bright light. Some guys, the greatest compliment I ever got as a basketball player, I'm starting as a freshman. Jimmy Cruz, assistant coach, comes up to me and he goes, why do you play so much better in games than you do in practice? I said, because I suck. I'm slow. I get exposed in practice. I'll get exposed in games, but it told me that I was a gamer, not a 3 o'clock hitter. And that's what you want to see. If anybody is a gamer, not a 3 o'clock hitter.
Would you, I know this is every case is individual, but this era, would you want to coach in it? I mean, you might have a player that's making more money than you. Is it hard to? Maddie just talked about the trust. I mean, I know this is all individual, right? I'm asking you a general question of whether you would want to coach, and maybe you would want to coach at a place that gave you the resources and the money to get great talent. I don't know, but to try to do old school coaching in this era, how difficult?
I wouldn't do any of the things, the maniacal things I did back then, but I'll tell you what would be fun. It would be fun to see, let's just take Bowling Green or Miami of Ohio, where Travis is doing a great job. It would be fun to see if you could put together a group and you could buy the best players in Ohio. It would be fun to do that and just, get, I don't know I can't remember anymore who they are, but say, all right, I got $20 million in NIL stuff from 10 different boosters at Bowling Green. Because, at Bowling Green, you're not buying the best. You're not getting the best players in Ohio. There's a pecking order. Ohio State, you got Cincinnati, Dayton, Xavier, and then you got the MAC. But I think it would be a lot of fun. I think on a day-to-day basis, it would be – I was psychotic about academics. Psychotic. And it was nice. I wouldn't worry about academics 1 second. I wouldn't give a crap if anybody graduated. I would, hey, look, y'all are paid. They've taken it out of the coach's hands. They put it into the academic department. But I would love to win a national championship and drop a big bag of cash in the middle of the court and say, hey, F off. And move it along.
All right, Dan, it's time for one of our random questions of the week.
Your social experiment of the week.
So I'll present you with this scenario. Dan Dakich is going on a golf trip. He's leaving out on Thursday, coming back Sunday. How many pairs of underwear is Dan Dakich taking with him? How many pair of underwear do you think is appropriate for that trip?
It's so funny you ask that because Double D 6 months ago had a real problem with this. Double D was on his way to male diapers, and then I had a surgery, and this surgery shall set me free. I was 3 freaking pair of underwear a day. I'm just packing. My mother's 90th birthday. We're celebrating this weekend. We're all going to Florida to visit her. Nice. And I just packed my underwear, and it was so nice just to pack 1 a day and 2 extra. So it's 1 a day and then 2 extra if I go into the pool. But, boys, I get a little personal here. If you'd have asked me 4 months ago for a Thursday, that's 2 pair, because one would have gotten it blown up in the middle of the night. Friday, that's 2 or 3 pair because we've been drinking. Saturday, 2. That's been about a 10 pair. That's been double digits. But not now, big boy. They roto-rootered me, and I'm feeling good.
This came up because years ago, I told Ice that I had like a 6-man rotation. And I would tell you if I had – and the other thing about it is that I would throw somebody on short rest on a Sunday. Like somebody's got to play a doubleheader. Like I would wake up. If I'm playing golf on a Sunday morning early, I'm not showering. I'm going to the course. I'm not going to douse myself with sunscreen right after I shower. Like I'll shower after I play. Ice is a shower 2-3 times a day guy. I'm not. So it came up that how many boxers should one man own? And he's like 20.
You
I'm
20
like,
pairs.
I don't think I own 20 combined over the last 10 years.
Ice, you and I are soulmates, brother. I'll tell you right now, I shower minimum when I wake up and always when I go to bed. Yeah. But I would say on average, I'm 3 to 4 showers a day. I got 276 pair of boxers, 372 white T-shirts, about 50 black T-shirts. I'm with you, brother. I can't put on a pair of nasty drawers after I've done something playing golf and make them do 2 a days. I ain't doing it.
Oh.
I'm the cleanest human being. Apparently, me and Ice and I are the cleanest human beings alive.
That's right. I don't know.
I ain't putting on those grimy ass shorts that I just wore golfing. No way.
Sometimes, old school pitchers, they went 9. Jack Morris was going extra innings. Sometimes a guy's got to do a complete game. There's no specialty underwear in my rotation. All right, my man. Great job as always. Be well, and good luck on that trip. That'll be fun.
That's funny. Thanks, guys. I'll talk to you. Thank you. See you guys.
You got it. He's got me all wrong. I'm not saying that you're wearing the same drawers after 18 holes in a sweaty golf event. I'm talking about you go to bed on a Saturday night in a pair of boxers, and then Sunday you're laying around the house. That guy's going on short rest.
You got to reset the clock. You got to reset the clock the next day. Hey, the great Joshua Perry weighs in. I own at least 40 pair of underwear.
Okay, that's
2 a day.
Unheard of.
Hey, man. 40. I said 20. He's doubling up my number. He's got 40. All right. On deck. Shout out to JP.
Don't you know how much time's on the clock?
All right, we're going to think of another one for Dakich next week. Tell the truth up next. Rothman Ice and the Fan.
We're the highest rated sports radio station in America. There's no joke there. We just are. The Fan, Ohio's sports destination. Get Eco.
Aaron, when we say same-day furnace installation, what does that mean exactly?
It means if you call us in the dead of winter because your furnace has died, we will install a new furnace the same day.
Get Eco.
So by same day, you mean like the next day, but within 24 hours?
No, Jerry, the same day you call.
How can we do that? Do we really have furnace techs just sitting here waiting for emergency calls?
Yes.
And we have a whole warehouse full of different furnaces, so we'll have one ready to go no matter what you need?
Yes.
And we have extra trucks in the fleet, just parked and ready to be loaded at a moment's notice?
Yes.
How do we do that?
Jerry, how could we not do that? If your heat goes out in the middle of winter, that's an emergency. So we'll be there the day you call.
Get Eco.
We should install a pole the guys can slide down, like firefighters.
No, Jerry, and please don't suggest that in front of the team.
Get Eco.
GetEco.com.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack. Sure, you can post your job to some job board, but then all you can do is hope the right person comes along, which is why you should try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter doesn't depend on candidates finding you. It finds them for you. Its powerful technology identifies people with the right experience and actively invites them to apply to your job. You get qualified candidates fast. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you what you're looking for. The needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. That's ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter.com/radio.
ZipRecruiter.
You got this. Breathe. You got this. You got this.
In the moments that truly matter, what do? Rise to the occasion. Ohio Health. It's time.
Maybe it was a family vacation or a school field trip. But there you were, standing in awe at a national park. We are the National Park Foundation, and together with you, we're creating a future where every person, every generation, gets their chance at an unforgettable moment. Today, tomorrow, forever. Learn more at nationalparks.org/foundation.
I have a special announcement. Common Man and Timmy is the most listened to radio show in the state of Ohio. Coming in at number 2, Common Sense. You should listen anyway.
Weekdays from 3 to 6.
The Fan.
It's a new year. Ready for a fresh start or career reboot? At My Computer Career, prep for a more recession-resistant future in the high-demand fields of IT, cybersecurity, in months, not years, including AI. Whether you're starting out or switching careers, no prior training is needed. Attend school online from home or on campus. Go to mycomputercareer.edu to take the free career evaluation today. mycomputercareer.edu, an elite CompTIA certification partner. Financial aid is available to those who qualify, including VA benefits.
I'm Leslie from Pella, Columbus.
I'm Wilson from that other window place.
Oh, okay. We've got a little song today, eh?
Yeah, spent quite a while working on that one. Thought I'd sell more windows if I had a catchy window jingle.
I like it. You know, jingles aren't really our thing at Pella. We just stick to the highest levels of quality and design thing.
Oh. Wish we would have thought of that. Doot.
Get the windows that Columbus homeowners rated the leading window brand at PellaColumbus.com.
It's almost Football Friday. All play and no work.
Sponsored by Tansky Sawmill Toyota.
Your home for football, The Fan. Tell the truth with Rothman and Ice.
Sponsored by McDaniel GM Superstore. Driving excellence since 1916. Chevrolet. Together, let's drive.
All right, TLC, take us home.
Okay, yesterday was National Data Privacy Day. How would you evaluate your ability to sniff out a cyber scam?
Oh, we're trained for this, AR. We have like annual tests around here that we do. You know what I mean?
Built for this.
We are absolutely built for this. Our company gets us right. It is a absolute thing you have to do. If not, they dock your pay if you don't pass the test. They don't do that. But we do got to take a lot of tests for this stuff. So I feel like I can sniff these things out. I actually got a text the other day from some fake Amazon worker trying to get me. No.
Catfishing.
You're immediately getting deleted. So yeah, I feel like I'm locked in now because of working here. I'm on it.
So if I was running the tests here at the Fan, I wouldn't make it a do-over until you get 80%. That forces people to listen to the tutorials, and if you got one chance to pass the test, I think we would lock people in more. But knowing that you can half listen.
Yeah, I'm not here for this.
You can half listen, and then just, okay, I remember that question that I got wrong. I got that one right now. Like,
what would your punishment be for the folks that did not pass? What would you make them do?
Great. That's a very good question.
What would you make them do?
What would we make the penalty for not paying attention to in class?
6 A to 8 P updates.
The updates are brutal.
14 hours.
I'm all too familiar with not paying attention in class. You know?
We could do it like they did in sports in high school. Just have to show up early before work and
like sprints.
Run some laps, which is what we had to do.
We called
jog a mile.
We called it extra effort in high school.
I don't think you want to do that to radio people though.
Just
Make
run
them
around
do something
the building.
physical.
Run around
sit for hours a day.
Wall sits, you know?
Like we're DeVere's kids?
Oh, my gosh.
On the wall. Now.
I was laughing and I shouldn't have been, but it was too funny. For the folks that don't know, I went to DeVere's a couple years ago for Thanksgiving.
Oh, yeah, but tell the beginning part.
Oh.
This is that you can't just bypass like the part.
Wait,
where
the beginning part.
I called him when I was in the driveway. He didn't answer. I got scared to knock.
Yeah, like I was nervous about that because my mom always told me you just don't walk into people's homes that you don't really know. That's just not something.
I don't think we wanted you to walk in. We wanted you to knock, and then when someone else answered the door, just introduce yourself, and they would have let you in.
So either way,
DeVere sent me.
I was nervous about that, and I called DeVere and I said I was outside. He said, "All right, come
in the driveway."
But throughout the night, one of his sons was upstairs playing with his cousins. And I think one of them came down and said that his son did something. I can't remember exactly what he did. So DeVere's like, all right, walk with me and watch this. So we go upstairs, and he walks in the room, and he just points to the wall and to his son and says, get on the wall. And he just made his son do wall sits for like a minute or 2 minutes as a punishment. It was a new punishment for me, but it was creative. And I like that from Depot. He's building character. He's building physical strength already. So it's a punishment that you get a lot out of as a parent, if I had to imagine.
He said his kids can go as long as 5 minutes.
Yeah. His kids are built different, man. His sons are going to be good athletes.
They're gonna
That's
have
for
tree
sure.
trunks.
Yeah, absolutely. Shout out to the Posey family.
Anyway, I brought up that question because it reminded me that, we had a coworker within the past few weeks who was on the phone with an AI bot. And oh, you weren't there for that?
Nope. Oh, this is new to us.
Oh, well then, I don't want to tell the story.
Oh, wow.
Why would you want to tell the story?
Just there was a coworker who.
You don't have to name names.
No, hey, not naming names. Soon to be a segment on an unnamed podcast, but there was a phone call that you could tell only hearing half the conversation that it was an AI robot on the other end.
I was around for that,
and
I did hear that.
That conversation lasted about 3 minutes longer than it should have.
I did hear that. It's a day. Look, man.
Didn't know that they were talking to a non-human.
Yes.
I've had this happen to me. Not for 3 minutes, but for about 30, 40 seconds.
This is why you just got to get like me and just not answer the phone.
This is why yesterday was National Data Privacy Day, because we got to be aware of this stuff so that way we can block scams and sniff them out on the first ring.
Like AR said, watch out for these catfishes.
Oh, shoot, we still have a minute. All right.
Was that a...
No, it was close. It wasn't.
I said shoot. What are you talking about?
My ears kind of hurt a little bit.
Yeah.
Well, here, my heart didn't drop, so I think we're okay. Yours may have, mine didn't. Would it be better for the NBA if each team had a different three-point arc similar to different dimensions in MLB ballparks?
I don't like that.
That's awful.
That's too gimmicky for me. Yeah, I wouldn't like that.
No, because if my home court was different dimension, then my roster building would be completely different. And the baseball thing is weird, right?
I don't think it's weird.
It's livable.
Yeah, I kind of like having the green monster and Fenway. I like that. But yeah, a couple different 3-point lines or a 4-point line. differing from arena to arena. I don't see the vision, TLC.
WNBC.
Before we go, you missed anything from our show, don't worry. You can always catch up wherever you get your podcast. All you have to do is type in Rothman and Ice, everything we do from noon to 3. We'll be waiting there for you. Subscribe to the Buckeye Show.
The what?
Subscribe to the podcast as well.
Hey, you can subscribe to them too.
Bet365 is a sponsor of the Rothman and Ice podcast.
Like and subscribe.
There you go. That's what I was trying to say, folks.
We're going to come back tomorrow at high noon. Do it again.
Yes, we will.
It's not really an official football Friday, but we'll be talking Super Bowl and all sorts of stuff. Join us then. Rothman and Ice and the Fan.
T-Bone and Tyvis are everything you want in a delicious breakfast. Lots of empty calories, no nutritional value.
Weekday mornings from 6 to 9.